Yeah, it's
There we go.
GergisKan. All good.
He's got an extremely favorable TC position. He's on wood, he's on gold, he's got 3 boar, and he's also got 6 deer. That is one heck of a position, and stone very close by. So I'd like to see how he does with that. And believe Malay, if I've got no, wait, not Malay, Malians. I mean, we could see some pretty good Condottiero synergy here between him and his ally.
That is for sure indeed. This could definitely be. Thinking about it, there are a lot of possibilities. I mean, for me, it's really special to see Goths on Nomad because it's so specific and it makes a lot of sense that he has positioned himself in the middle of the map here. I had the same talk with Nobody. Goths on Nomad, so specific and also a little bit risky here and there. I will elaborate on that in a couple of seconds. What do you think about the TC's positioning of each player? Starting with, I don't know, what about GergisKan here, since you've talked about that clan?
Oh, I'm still saying it's great with everything that it's sharing. He's got every single resource plus so much free food.
Right.
His dock as well is the northernmost dock, and he will be completely untouched from the other team.
That is for sure.
So his resources are just going to be pretty much great the whole way through.
Really a good spot there. I mean, you've mentioned it. The food is just awesome. All the other resources as well. And his teammate Lotario, what do you think about that one? I mean, you said it's close to the shore, right? Anything else too specific?
I'm not a big fan of it. I think it's too close to water.
Okay.
If Marauder, also known as Dave, comes around with any sort of pressure, he could be annoying to that TC and any villagers around it, just from a couple galleys. That'd be pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of possibilities that this could be a dangerous situation. If we would have asked Influenza, he would have said, no, that's actually a good position. Well, it could have been a good position if there was some shorefish, right? Then it would be quite of a good thing there to have an early boost with the food, saving on the wild boars for now, because then he could have just went for the boars just a bit later, having more villagers at the same time. Therefore, the boars would have suffered less of decay. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Not the best position there, especially considering the fact that there are no many resources really close to his TC. Therefore, it could have been better. We'll see about that. And I'll just take over and talk about Marauder's map here, who's really close to Lotario, of course. And you've mentioned it can be really annoying for Lotario if he manages to get through those walls, maybe, or also through water.
I can jump in there at the moment.
Yeah, right.
If you go to Marauder's perspective and toggle his fog of war, Marauder doesn't know about Lotario, but Lotario knows about Marauder. So it looks like he's building up, and if he pushed that advantage, he could drop towers on that wood line. That could work out pretty well for him.
You've said it.
But I think Marauder's probably about to see Lotario here as he goes for his boar, and he's going to see that villager building that house.
Exactly. Oh, that is true indeed.
He didn't see it. I don't think he did.
He didn't realize it for some reasons. No. Well, yeah.
It wasn't in the field of view of that villager.
Oh, wow. Wow. Unfortunate. This will be a surprise for him, for sure. Interesting already. And what about Bulletchen, who's in the middle? His base. Thinking of it, he has some resources. It is good that he's close to stone with the goths. If he plans to do some some castle-based action there. But other than that, all the other resources, they're not too close. I mean, he has some possibilities in the north. Looking at his point of view there, does he know about that? He should know about that. He doesn't. Well, he knows about the right-hand side there, and he will eventually find out about the left-hand side next to his mill there, finding more deer and also boar there. Good stuff already. Alright, so the first people you're clicking up already. GergisKan about to reach feudal age, and Marauder also on his way there. So would you think that both blue and green, both on opposing teams there, go for some feudal based action there, as in, I don't know, scouts, towers or something like this?
Yes, I see a barracks coming up for GergisKan, a little south of his base, so I can assume he's about to power down a stable as well. And there it is, going up with 3 villagers, a little south of his TC.
Good observation indeed. That is one option to do.
But from Marauder, I'm not seeing anything like that from Marauder. So we will see if he's possibly, well, he just put 4 villagers on stone. I don't see any on gold. So it'll be strange to see what he's thinking, checking his res. He doesn't really seem like he's getting ready to do a fast castle, so I'm not quite sure what to expect from him at the moment. Not really seeing an answer at all.
Yeah, that is true indeed. I mean, he is going forward with a couple of villagers there, 4 to be precise. But they're going for the mining camp there. So first I thought, okay, will he go for some towers or something like this? But it doesn't seem like that. I'm really not sure what he does here at the moment. I'm sure he has some plans, but not sure what exactly. He now found out about Lotario's villager there, chasing him a bit. Maybe this purple villager will lead Marauder to Purple's base eventually. No, not happening. Just some walling taking place. Okay, okay. At the same time, GergisKan out there with his scouts, trying to harass Bulletchen.
That's good, that's good. Alright, so we see Marauder walling up a bit more now, dropping a market, so maybe he's realized that his eco doesn't quite make sense at the moment. He's going to be using that to balance it out and get his way up to castle.
True indeed. Really not sure, but maybe he just wants to drop a castle very soon. He could be going for January's crossbowman if the enemy really suggests creating some knights, which I'm not really sure of. Could be. I mean, why not? I mean, if the enemy is basically consisting of Persians and Malians, there's a big scenario that this could really take place. At the same time, I'm just looking at GergisKan's attempt to cause more damage here in Bulletchen's economy. And yeah, he's causing a lot of idle time there, at least. Maybe he will even get some villagers there, right to the mill there.
Yeah, it looks like he has a chance to pick off 4 here, depending on who's got the better micro and moving around. And I think it looks like it's going to happen. Does he? Oh, Bulletchen took down the weak scout, but I think this is going to be too much. Those villagers are going to have to run. Now the 4th and 5th scouts show up.
Yep.
It's going to be way too much to handle. That's going to be really good for the other team here, GergisKan+Lotario.
True indeed.
And it seems like Bulletchen is just stuck with trying to batter down the scouts with villagers, and I really think he should probably wall off maybe that side of his wood rather than continue to fight them.
Right.
But with what we were talking about earlier, Marauder just clicked up, so going to castle seems like it's going to be the thing. He did just put 1 fire galley on Lotario's TC, and definitely was doing that thing, being annoying, but he has to back off. That TC would wreck a fire galley.
That's for sure. That's for sure. Alright, I find it really interesting now that GergisKan has really spotted the TC of Bulletchen there. He's really trying to draw circles there with his movement, and also dropping a tower there on the north of his TC, right to the northern woodline of Bulletchen. This is going to be annoying for sure, and I think they're doing this really well. Thinking of the possibilities there now for Bulletchen. I mean, I'm a bit confused, to be honest, here, that he put up the stable. Why do you think Bulletchen built that one? I'm really not sure.
As a stopgap, you could run some knights around as Goths while you try to build yourself up to your better infantry. It's not the most ideal thing. You know, you don't spend too much on the upgrades in that choice, but it can be done.
Can be done, right? Yeah, that is certainly one thing to keep an eye on.
Well, GergisKan just pulled off the best version of dropping towers. You drop a first one. If you've got the time, you get it up to 90 something, and then you start building the second one.
I've seen the same.
And he managed to pull that off perfectly. And that's gonna be that's a lot of that's 2 very well placed towers to be annoying that TC.
Wow, and
it's bad to be Bulletchen at the moment.
At the same time, he has anticipated that Bulletchen will most likely run away from that place, and now he's there with all of his scouts there. That is just terrible for Bulletchen at the moment. That was actually GergisKan's plan all the time. Just force him to leave his base to the right hand side, and he would be there with his scouts. That's just devastating.
Dang, that's a little, yeah, it's a little crazy to see how well he pulled that off. It seems like GergisKan's really just got Bulletchen in the palm of his hand at the moment, and making the decisions.
Right.
I would like to see what Marauder's plan is over Lotario here. He seems to be far ahead of him. He's been in Castle Age for so much longer, but I haven't seen him make that a decisive victory. He's got a castle going up that'll range some of those farms in the south on the water. But I'd like to see if you're in Castle Age that much earlier than your opponent, push that advantage a lot more than he currently is.
True, true. I'm really asking myself what he will go for. I mean, that castle will be useful for sure. He's really close to his opponent there, which will keep the opponent away from pushing into his own base, first of all. At the same time, he's dropping more TCs there, so he will go for a boom-based strat here. Getting a little bit of gold there as well. I'm just wondering what his unit choice will be. And it's Genoese crossbowman at the moment. What do you think? Is that a good decision? Going for Genoese crossbowman now?
Well, we touched on it for a little bit, and it's with their bonus damage against cavalry, and we see GergisKan also going for bloodlines. It seems like it's going to be a great choice. It's going to play right into the other teams taking the advantage at the moment, but then maybe Marauder's going to be able to pull this back in.
Yeah, actually it sounds like a good decision there. That's for sure. Now
especially because now, as much as GergisKan shut down Bulletchen, it looks like Marauders might be able to do that much damage to Lotario here.
Right. He needs to go for it though.
Yes, there's definitely a situation where there's no time to waste. You see him sending 4 crossbowmen in now. I wish he knew he could walk into that TC just fine. There's not going to really be any threat to him. And it looks like, there we go, he's now going to commit underneath it. Realize there's only one villager in there and just walk right on through.
Right.
No.
At the same time, I'm looking at this mess in Bulletchen's base. That is just really, really awful stuff taking place. Also, another tower now being put down by... Oh no, that was just an attempt by Lotario there, but he just stopped doing that one. Instead, Bulletchen placing his own tower there, which will cost him a bit more stone there, which will, of course, delay the time of putting down a castle. But it's downright awful at the moment for him. A lot of pressure.
I'd really like to see Dave also mix in a siege workshop here, maybe start pressuring down start putting pressure with Mangonel on that first TC, so that he could push through here a little bit easier, or even just build up crossbowmen and just transport right around it with his dock right there. It'd be an easy move to make.
You're right.
And he could be putting pressure right on all those farms. Actually, he could just make a galley and have it sit there right on the water's edge and deny about 4 or 5 farms.
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. I mean, there are a couple of ways to just annoy Lotario at the moment. It's one way to do it. At the same time, GergisKan is so far away with his own base. I believe no one will be able to go there anytime soon to cause some trouble over there, which is the reason why he's just completely untouched there with his base. The eco is just there with 2 TCs, I guess. Let me check on that. Yeah, 2 TCs so far, which is fine for now. Alright. Also the third one being put down just on the east of Bulletchen's base, where the gold is.
Oh wow. Even taking the time to wall in a tower there to get Bulletchen off of that wood line. Bulletchen's in a position to keep getting choked and choked.
That's for sure.
It's just getting tighter and tighter wrapped around, and he won't have too many options of where to go.
Yeah, that is true indeed. I think it's the right decision to do exactly what they're doing at the moment. They are going for Bulletchen, who has the Goths, because he can potentially be the most dangerous one, having the Goths. And if you allow the Goths just do what they want to do, which is actually putting down at least 1 castle and then numerous more barracks, then he would maybe become unstoppable there. And this is what they're trying to prevent from happening all the time, and I think they're successful so far.
Yeah, I'd say very successful. I still say Marauder's in a position where he can put the same amount of pressure on Lotario, but he's just not making those moves right now, and it's hard to get a read on what he's planning his next move to be.
Yeah, right.
It seems like he's content in holding, getting the most villagers out there, But he's got to put more pressure on him because he's got to assume that GergisKan's doing the same thing. GergisKan has, yeah, as we know, 1, 2, 3 TCs. So he can't just count on booming harder. What's up, Nimino? Thanks for jumping in.
Right. So yeah, at the same time, GergisKan now getting Thumb Ring, was it, and then Botkin Arrow. So that's an interesting choice. Now he goes for Crossbowman. Why do you think that would be a thing to do at this very moment, instead of going for more Knights, maybe, or something like that?
We could speak to the Genoese Crossbowmen countering Knights, but I still think spending the money on on Crossbowmen and then building archers is probably not going to be a cost-effective trade. That's questionable to me.
Right.
Not sure.
Now we will see what's gonna happen in a couple of seconds.
Genoese Crossbowmen have better base stats, period? Huh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean the advantage is, of course, in order to produce a Crossbowman, you just need archer ranges. Therefore he has 3 of them. His production will be fine for now. Now the question is, will he be able to cause a lot of damage there? He is about to cause a lot of damage there for sure, because Lotario is certainly helping there with 2 mangonels and also some knights for safety. Yeah, if they are able to enter Marauder's base, basically it's gonna be really difficult for Marauder and both Marauder and Bulletchen to get out of the situation, because then with those crossbowmen he will be able to get some good snipes down the villagers. Therefore they need to find a solution for that one ASAP.
Well, we see they're starting to put the pressure on Marauder instead, because Bulletchen was able to get a castle up, and he's also ramming down those towers now. So Bulletchen's kind of stabilized his position. He's got a lot of room to catch up, but maybe, just maybe, they're showing their ability to stabilize. And even though they're putting the pressure on Marauder, it looks like Marauder's going to be getting a second castle up. It's questionable at the moment if they were to break in, if that castle goes up. But I think that'll be the position to say, hey, as far as castle age considered, we're both fine. We're both fine to hold here, and we're going to bring ourselves back into this game.
Alright, it could be a good one. I mean, unless they do something again against it, but the castle's up in a couple of seconds now. There we go. Now this area should be fine for now. It's just a shame that they didn't attempt to... I mean, I'm talking about Marauder and Bulletchen. That's the place where the castle is at the moment, the second castle of Marauder. He could have maybe placed the castle before on that hill, you know, just to save also the gold there, and all of this wouldn't have taken place, but that's easier said than done. Instead he went for his first castle on the right hand side, and that was actually allowing both GergisKan and Lotario to apply some pressure. And now we see about the crossbowmen here, if they are going to push away the Genoese crossbowmen as well as the knights.
Yes, that's good. And we see Bulletchen's now starting with Huskarl production. So that'll counter the crossbows coming out. It'll do okay. It'll do pretty good against Scout Cavalry. So we'll see Bulletchen starting to bring out a bigger effort and become a bigger part of this game right about now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you said it also. He's stabilizing now. Unfortunately now, the problem is, yeah, he is really behind in economy still with 44 villagers, right? While GergisKan, for instance, has 83. So this will be really hard for Bulletchen to catch up. But he's doing well by producing more of those Huskars, which is basically countering most of GergisKan's units. It's going to be difficult with the Knights there now, of Lotario. But if he manages to find an answer also considering the Knights, I guess it's going to be really good for him. He could find his way to GergisKan's place there. And if he gets, I don't know, 10, 15 Huskars under the TCs, it's going to be devastating for the economy of GergisKan at least.
So I'm glad to see that Bulletchen will be, looks like he's putting up siege workshops, whether it's for more rams or maybe a mangonel or two. I'm glad to see that, because I still think Marauder needs to defend himself with at least a mangonel here. Those 3 pressuring on him, he's got no answer for it. Oh, fine. Yep, now he has siege workshop in the back of his base with his first mangonel coming in. Yep. And it looks like it's in a really unfortunate spot that it might get taken down. Nope. Okay.
Oh, well done.
I think it just it microed itself, to be honest, right where it was right where its rally point was just happened to be the perfect placement. But I was scared that I was going to get taken out before he even realized it was finished.
Right. Yeah, fortunate for him.
And now we see Marauder going in with Genoese crossbowmen, about a little bit more than a dozen into Lotario's base, that first closest TC there, pushing those villagers off the wood. But still needs something to break through that particular TC there to get further into the base. He's got one knight cleaning up that Maginot. That's good. If we put focus on the Bulletchen's base, though, there's a lot of crossbows in his base.
Exactly. This is gonna be devastating now. Unless he finds a solution for that. He needs a Maginot desperately. At the same time, Marauder clicking up to Imperial Age, so he's gonna be there very soon. Would be nice to see if he could make use out of that. In Imperial Age, he could make his Genoese crossbowmen stronger, of course. But I'm not very sure if Genoese crossbowmen will be the absolute answer to everything at the moment.
I think the synergy here, Genoese crossbowmen to counter any cavalry, and if we could get more Huskers out to take out the crossbows, that would be great.
Yeah.
But the first thing I'd like to see from Marauder is a trebuchet right away, so he could get into his base.
Right.
But we see him going forward to put a castle on that neutral gold near Lotario.
Exactly.
Near Lotario's stable. That would be good if he can hold that, put that castle up. Then he's got his original gold back, and now he'll have control over that one as well. That'll be good.
That's absolutely correct. He would even be able to deny a bit of the resources of Lotario. That woodland would be endangered land, and yeah, he's now in there with Genoese crossbowmen. I'd like to see if Lotario is attempting to do something against that with his knights. That would be a bad decision.
Seems like Lotario noticed it very late, and we saw four villagers go down, so that's nice. Yeah. Could have seen a lot more. Oh, there's a fifth, but that could have been much, much worse.
Still more villagers are dying there. Yeah.
So I believe Marauder's the first one up. We see him use the market and immediately into a trebuchet, so that's good. We'll see that from him. Oh, but we've got a Maginot firing on Genoese. Putting in a lot of damage. A lot of those are weak now.
Right.
Okay, so what we see from the team of Marauder and Bulletchen, now they're kind of encircling Lotario. It's kind of interesting to see here.
Let me see that. I mean, of course, on the left-hand side there's Marauder. Oh yeah, there we go. Huskars also attempting to enter his base. Actually, good choice. While we are talking all the time here, Bulletchen is actually attempting to go on both sides at the same time. He attempted to go into GergisKan's base there, while he is being heavily pressured by GergisKan at the same time. The crossbowmen are doing good work, killing a lot of villagers there, unfortunately for him. And at the same time, GergisKan also placing a second castle right in front of Bulletchen's base. It's gonna be tough for him for sure. Especially because he went to both sides at the same time. Yeah. Do you think there is some kind of master plan kind of possibility for both of them, both Marauder and Bulletchen, to get out of the situations as winners for now?
As far as the master plan goes, it seemed like holding, booming back up, trying to get an eco going was the master plan, and then they'll probably try and reflect from here.
I see. Yeah, the question now is, will that be possible, right? I mean, at the same time, Marauder now getting bloodlines, which is a sign, of course, that he will do some cavalry-based action there. Question now is, did he go for that one too late? Did he hold on to his Genoese crossbowmen for too long? We don't know yet. Good thing is, you said as well, trebuchets being produced. He's gonna need them for sure. At the same time, though, in the north of Marauder's base, Arbalists are about to enter and also trapped by GergisKan, so the pressure is on now for sure.
Yeah, it seems like because Bulletchen is just so far behind villager-wise, only at 42 villagers, that's just putting a little too much pressure on Marauder to carry than he's able to do right now.
Right.
That's definitely making a problem for him, because even at over 100 villagers, GergisKan has 20 villagers on him alone. What's up, G90? Yeah, let's go, Dave. Totally doing my best to be partial right now.
Yeah, man. So Marauder was basically Dave, right? That's him.
Yeah, Marauder's Dave.
All right.
I'm gonna make sure if I do that, I correct myself or let the chat know that Marauder's also known as Dave.
All right, I will do that as well.
I'd say a pretty decently known figure in AOE.
Yeah, I mean, I've also seen him a couple of times on T90 stream there. Also, especially as a part of his 24-hour stream, I've heard him a couple of times there talking.
Ooh, Dave / Marauder just going down with losing his castle at the same time. He's gonna be taking out. He'll be taking out. Oh man, losing it. Lotario's castle here. So it's somewhat of a trade, but oh man, the pressure coming in. Well, actually, there's pressure everywhere.
That's pressure.
I'm worried about GergisKan's pressure on Bulletchen and took down Marauder's castle. Marauder / Dave also moving in on Lotario. So we're in a position. I think we're in a position right now that the first team to make a mistake is going to be the one to be regretting it here.
Right. So I'm pretty much impressed by Marauder's / Dave's attempt here to build up the pressure. He is actually really successful with that one, more than I've initially expected. Especially because he went for those January's crossbowmen. But he does well at the moment. He pushes Lotario away even more. But at the same time now the problem is getting bigger, considering GergisKan, who was able to zone off most of Bulletchen's base there back to his initial TC. And at the same time he uses the army that he has now to enter Marauder's base basically and now cause some havoc over there, which will be really, really tough if he doesn't do anything against it. There's no castle inside. The only castle there is on the left-hand side now where the arbalists are. So they are able to get some hits. They are able to deny that gold. And they will, I mean, the traps of them, they've just destroyed the TC there on the right-hand side. Yeah, it's getting gloomy here. Really gloomy indeed.
Yeah, I think the only thing that could help right now is enough Huskarls, and Bulletchen looks like he's coming now, but he just probably doesn't have the numbers, and he's just still behind, period. Yep. And so I think that's what's making the bigger difference in GergisKan being able to push so hard right now. Bulletchen's still only up to 48 vills, just can't get himself back in this game 100% here.
Right. I mean,
but we see those Huskarls doing a lot of work, but even a couple bombard cannon shots are just taking out so many of them. Doing so much work in there. I'm not sure, has Marauder lost all of his military? He had a push going, and I guess it's all cleaned up.
Yeah, he only has 11 military left there. Unfortunate, really.
And he's down below 100 villagers now, so I think they need some sort of mangonel onager shot here to help them out and buy them some time. Otherwise, I think this is gonna just keep looking worse and worse for them.
Right. A lucky shot of the mangonel or onager will be better. Will be really good for him indeed. But I think it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be really luck based there. At the same time now, GergisKan also there with his hand cannoneers, so any upcoming Huskars will be easily defeated, man. Especially if we consider the fact that Bulletchen won't have enough of eco to produce a critical mass of Huskars there. He has some out still, they're doing their work, you've said it as well, but it's not going to be possible to enter just with this little amount of Huskars.
Well, he seemed to have some well placed, and I think he picked off 1, 2, and I believe now a third bombard cannon going down. So while he didn't have much, he used them extremely effectively to stop any more bombard cannons showing up.
True. So I'm just looking at the remaining...
I don't think...
Yeah?
They just don't have... It just seems like there's not a plan. The plan was to hold, and that plan's not working, and there's really not a backup plan going on right now.
Right, right. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. I'm just looking for the remaining resources there for the plan of holding on. For Bulletchen, he has 1 gold still left there, but it's GG already. I mean, yeah, they call it. Well. GG indeed. So this one goes for Lotario and GergisKan.
Oh wow, they're moving fast. So we'll give a couple thoughts.
Yeah, what do you think?
But
Could you drop in some key moments, maybe? Any ideas?
without a doubt, key moment was GergisKan. Just his feudal pressure on Bulletchen with those towers just placed perfectly, and the scouts, he really was pushing Bulletchen around wherever he wanted, and every time he did that, Bulletchen played right into what GergisKan wanted. And it just put Bulletchen too far behind. He was never really able to come back into the game.
Right.
And even though Dave was doing his best, he just couldn't carry quite that hard. Yourself?
Yeah, that is for sure indeed. I mean, I'm also thinking about that very moment that you've just mentioned. I think the feudal aggression really did it. But other than that, thinking about Dave, while he did a really good job there, he also allowed, especially in the beginning of Castle Age, Lotario to enter his base a couple of times, even though that was unwanted, of course. That was mainly because he placed the first castle on the right-hand side of his base. He could have maybe gone that far and just placed it on the left-hand side to secure not the entrance for Lotario, or against Lotario, but more about his resources, you know. Putting that castle up that late, that cost him a lot of villagers in the beginning. And from there, I felt it was kind of a snowball effect where it was quite difficult for him to catch up. I mean, he was constantly on a good level there, talking about Dave still. But I think if he was more careful in the beginning, considering the safety of his base in the north, he would have been even more powerful. But the question then is, would that have been enough in order to also carry Bulletchen at the same time? And probably that wouldn't have been possible. So yeah, the score 1-0, correct. That is it. The next game already starting. Wow, they're really having a fast pace here.
We'll jump in answering Chris there in the chat. It's GergisKan and Lotario is up 1-0.
Oh yeah, true.
That's the specific.
True. So we got a little pause here, I believe. Is the game paused for you? Oh, stream ended. Okay, for you as well. Oh yeah, there's a. Oh yeah, I believe it was Dave who just went out for a second there. He's back though. All right. So just thinking about game number 2, that's gonna be switch civs from game 1. What do you think, Willis? Are the enemies gonna do what we've talked about last time? You know, when they have switch civs, they're gonna show the others, hey, this is how you're gonna work with the civs properly. You know, like in your face kind of strat.
That's what I was thinking about. Because as we saw it, I don't think we said much about the other Malay and Persians. I don't think we talked too much about their advantages, so I don't think there was too many to point out. So yeah, in the matchup there, I think I'd rather be going with Goths and Italians. So yeah, if they pulled off better, it's just kind of the way of showing, hey, here's how you do it.
Right. But that's an interesting thing to say. You would have chosen the Goths and Italians. Why so? Is there a specific reason for that?
As we were seeing with the Italians being able to have bonus damage with the Genoese crossbowmen, taking out any sort of cavalry from the Persians would have been helpful.
Right.
And I can't quite remember the reasons, but Goths on Nomad. There's a reason there, and I can't remember what I've been taught.
All right, I understand you. I mean, from what I've found out, especially about Goths on Nomad, is it's really specific. You gotta go for the boom, and then basically do what Bulletchen attempted to do. But for that, you need to be, in peace all the time. So that's actually difficult. I mean, Bulletchen chose the right location there. In the middle, he has a lot of space, but at the same time, he allowed the enemies to surround him there. Let's see what's gonna take place this time. But come on, has the game ended again?
Uh-oh.
Alright,
Yeah.
okay.
Something they're having a lot of trouble for some reason.
Unfortunate. Alright.
But what do you have to say about the matchups?
Yeah. So,
As the more experienced player here, what team are you taking and why?
I would, because that was what surprised me. I would actually gone for Malians and Persians, especially because I'm real big fan of Knights and Age of Empires. I just love it, and especially Persians have a super great bonus in the beginning, starting with enough resources that you can put down a TC, also go for the dog ASAP. Those are just really economy boosting attributes there, parameters. And I would actually have gone for Persians to be super precise, but second choice would have been Malians, especially because their damage spike considering the Knights when it takes place in the mid-late game, it's just insane, and that would have been my choice. Goths, of course, maybe even funnier if you go for the attempt that that you just go for Huskars basically, or any kind of infantry spam. But it's actually difficult to realize that one, to be honest. I mean, for given reasons. I mean, we saw that GergisKan was aware of this. He just puts down his towers to prevent him from doing that. So that's one thing to keep in mind. At the same time, Italians though, top tier. You've mentioned it yourself. Italians, they have a lot of options there. They're actually countering Persians and Malians to a certain degree there, if both of the civs go for standard strats. Therefore, Italians is also a good choice. Goths is the most risky one, in my opinion.
I think I figured out the reason for the second. I don't want to call it a drop. I want to call it a restart there. Marauder was Mongols, so they might have just noticed that there was an error.
Oh,
that's why they weren't. That's why they didn't keep playing that game out.
Okay, that happens. That happens. Alright, so it's a best of 7, so we got a lot of matches to watch, hopefully.
Ooh, about how long was that first match? Oh, I was supposed to take notice. I was asked earlier by a friend how long I thought he'd be casting to see if he would catch the end of it. And I told him, well, it's a Nomad best of 7. Well, no, I told him it's scheduled for 3.5 hours, but it's Nomad and it's a best of 7. So I told him it could go anywhere from 2 hours and 45 minutes to 7 hours.
Yeah, it could be.
And I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just honest that's the possibility in a Nomad best of 7.
Yeah. I mean, you've just answered truly there, really honest. I mean, it could be, right? If all those games, all of those 7 games just turn out to be late imp games, it could be really a long casting session here for sure.
I'd be worried for you because I know it's already late for you, even though you're a madman with your freaking with your sleep schedule. Yeah. But I think you know my opinion on streaming. If this goes 7 hours, I'm here.
Yeah, and I will be there as well for sure. We will just see how our buddies will be doing. I mean, I've noticed that yesterday when I did Viper Tato against Max and Valise. Last game, man, I tell you, it was so intense. It went really full late imp, right? And my brain couldn't just function properly anymore, to be honest. But it somehow worked. But imagining that all 7 games would turn out to be like that, I just hope this won't happen today. I mean, it would be a hard quest to hold on to, but we'll see. I'm just looking forward to see some good games here. And finally, the next game is starting. I cannot believe it. Right,
that's great. So you're in. It seems like we're staying.
Yeah.
I see all the teams pick the proper civs. I think this is gonna work.
I think this is gonna work as well, Willis. And do you mind just starting and presenting everything, please?
Not at all. No. All right. So starting out with Bulletchen, he had a very, very favorable start here. He is about in the middle of the map, a little bit south of it, a little bit south of that little bit of water in the middle. He had 2 villagers start very close together on a gold, later a relic. There's 2 boars over there in a wood line. But his 3rd villager way over to the east started right in a place for a dock. So he didn't really have any movement. He pulled those two villagers close together and just immediately started. And I was like, huh, doesn't get much better than that in Nomad.
Right.
Lotario slightly to the east of him, past a patch of forest there, also dropping a TC. He's on, so he'll have wood, berries. He's having a trouble getting that villager to pathfind around that wood line and that gold though. Seemed like he was a little confused. Thought maybe he could get through there. Let's see. Moving to his point of view though, I don't think, did he not dock? He didn't dock anywhere. Ooh, that's not good for Lotario.
Really, I'm just looking for the shore here everywhere. We're missing something. There's Marauders in the north.
Let's see. Well, either way, I'll move on to GergisKan. GergisKan is on plenty of wood, stone, already bringing a boar in. He'll have 3 boar in that same area if he notices that extra one. And if he goes a little to the east, he'll notice all those deer. And there's a chance, based on his line of sight, that he accidentally docks a pond. It might happen. But he's flaring way out to the east, so maybe that's where he plans to dock.
Alright, yeah, that could be for sure.
And then rounding it off with Marauder, switching to his point of view here. So he's got a dock about the northwest part of the map there. This TC close by on wood, plenty of sheep, and about 4 deer. Oh wait, 5, 6, 7 deer past that wood line. It looks like he's about to grab a boar, bring that in. That'll be good for him. He's got a lot of wood there, even shore fish, so he'll be fine bringing in the Dark Age food for free here. I think that about rounds us out. Lotario now going way to the southeast to drop his dock. I doubt that's just scouting.
Right.
But we'll see. He hasn't quite dropped it yet.
Oh,
and
there we
there
go.
It goes. Now he's building the dock.
Finally, that is a really late dock for sure. This is gonna bring down his economy, at least slow it down significantly in comparison to the others who all have docks already, who all have fishing boats already. But no, that's fake news. Actually, GergisKan also no fishing boat yet. That's also interesting. Why so? Is he actually producing? He isn't even producing.
Both that entire team, GergisKan and Lotario, neither of them started with a dock. They both got their TCs up, brought in their first boars, then sent a villager to dock. It was weird. Or Lotario didn't bring the boar. He just scouted much further first.
Well, let's see how this is gonna pay off. I mean, I'm really not sure about this one, if this was a right decision to do it like this. The other's gonna have a little lead there for sure. And let's see if this is gonna pay off maybe for the others. I'm just having a look on all the TCs that we see here, just starting with Bulletchen here. You said that he's on the central of the map, pretty much in the center, maybe a little bit south there. He has good gold, of course, some wood patches real close to his base. Another gold top left of his TC there. Also in the south he has quite some options. He doesn't know about that yet, as far as I can tell. Yeah, he is about to find out about that one. If he just proceeds with his sheepo a little bit more, then he's gonna find 4 more sheep, also stone and gold. There are lots of possibilities, but the downside of everything is, and you said that as well, Lotario is really close there to him. Just over that wood, there he is with his TC. He also has a decent map there, at least resource-wise. At the same time, there's a huge hill next to his TC, which I find always critical if you allow the opponents to play more aggressively while you play simply passively there. But let's see if he's gonna allow that one. Probably not. Hope so for him. And looking at the others, GergisKan, you also mentioned it, close to the stone. As gods always look for the stone there, and he certainly found a good spot there. He's surrounded by woods. Actually really easy to close off the space, at least temporarily. Also boxing him in a way that he would not be able to kick off his eco there in any way there. He needs to go some other place as well, put some TCs or farms. A mill somewhere else. You could go to the east, of course. That's that. And lastly, talking about Marauder there. He actually went for a TC that is close to the shore. He has access to the shore fish. Doesn't go for it though, which is a bit surprising in my opinion. At the same time, he has enough villagers now, so there's no waste considering the decay. Maybe a little bit there, 2, 3 villagers there on the deer. And other than that, the resources, there are some possibilities, but they are not super close. I'm not a big fan of this to have external resources there where you have to go with your villagers really far away and place mining camps there. It's always dangerous because it's difficult to protect there. But that's all so far.
And so we see Bulletchen as the first up to feudal, but like last game when we saw Marauder going up to feudal first, I don't quite see a rhyme or reason. He built so many farms that he's not going to have any wood to drop buildings, or either a blacksmith market to get himself up to castle, or a barracks into a stable or archery range. So yet again, questionable as to what the plan is. He's got enough wood income that he'll be able to drop something, but not both. And instead he goes for another dock. I wonder what his plan is.
Interesting indeed. I mean, he didn't scout the water too much. Initially he just found the shorefish there. Maybe he even thought, oh damn, I just found a spot where there is no deep fish, as in tuna, or I don't know, something else. This is maybe the reason why he just directly went for the farms. But really not sure if this is the right decision. That he should have just taken one fishing boat there and just looked for more possibilities there in the water. But so far he didn't do that. And
that is really weird to see him not scout at all.
Yeah.
Like, why? It's like he just he's quitting on the water kind of over there.
Right.
Like, at least have the fishing ship do something. There we go. Almost as if by magic he moves him. So now he's looking.
Yeah.
But I think dropping that second dock, he might be in for a rude awakening. Yeah, he's building a fire galley. I think he's thinking to go aggressive, and he's not going to be happy when he sees that piece of water doesn't go anywhere.
Oh,
he's gonna run into some land because he knows where Bulletchen is, so he thinks he's gonna go hit his water, and from there he is not gonna find anything. Gonna come up dry. Pun intended.
Pun intended. Once again, I was just waiting for you to drop another pun there. Nice one.
Actually, it looks like he's sending his fishing ship all the way around to his other dock. He's not even trying for some reason. There we go. Now he turns him around, realizes, oh, they're not going anywhere smart. Let me not do that. Maybe, just maybe he'll start fishing with them.
Maybe.
I don't know what he's thinking.
That was such a waste of time for just 3 fishing boats there. He's not even producing any more fishing ships, I guess. I mean, just more fire galleys being produced, at least from that one dock. Really not sure.
Yes, I believe he is. I think he assumes he's closer to Lotario on that side.
Yeah.
And just is trying to find somebody, but they're gonna find out that they're actually good on this side. The enemy team's all the way to the right. Well, let's see. Do either of them? I don't think either of them have any clue where GergisKan is, as far as Marauder and Bulletchen. Marauder might. He seems to have done a lot of scouting. Okay, he has eyes on a house.
Just a house.
So
right.
So he knows about. Yeah, he might be over there, but that's it.
That's all. True. That's true indeed. So what we can see from GergisKan, since we're speaking of that guy, he is going for a lot of stone there, and you know what's that about, right? I mean, he will drop a castle very soon. Also some more stones being axed there. Don't know who did that, of course, but some allocations about stone is now known to someone. And yeah, so we can probably expect something more of a classical Goths approach from GergisKan. The thing is, he is not being harassed, right? We don't see any kind of harassment taking place anyway. Especially surprising for me, the relation between Bulletchen and Lotario. There would have been a lot of opportunities to drop a tower over here and there, especially on that gold would have been a nice idea for both of them, but not gonna take place. It seems that all of the players have enough time just to click up to Castle Age in peace and also just go for their initial plans there. And that is, in my opinion, a dangerous decision from Dave and Bulletchen, because GergisKan is the boss, and I don't know if that's gonna be the right decision just to leave him be and leave him doing what he wants to do.
We'll have to see what GergisKan's first move is, but it looks like he's coming over with an outpost to find Dave. So he's definitely thinking more aggressive than their team. Oh, he also doesn't have the slightest clue where Marauder is. So we'll see once he hits Castle Age what his first move is, but if they both just play eco-wise, this could turn into definitely a heavy-hitting game if we see late-game Persians versus late-game Goths, but I don't believe that's what we're going to see here. So that villager needs to get hit down by TC. Oh, it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
Villager's going to walk away safe and sound. Yeah, so Marauder's dropping three TCs. We don't see any aggression from GergisKan, and they just all players seem okay with this. It's strange, but that's what's happening.
That's strange indeed. But good for Dave, I guess. If he goes for 3 TCs there. 1, 2... No, at the moment it's just 2 TCs.
It's 3.
It's
three, maybe just having trouble finding it. There's one to the right of his original, and one slightly further to the left of his original TC on that wood line.
Really? I mean, if I press H for TC, I just find 2 of them. What is happening?
It's being built.
Oh, it's being built. All good.
Just finished.
Oh, is it finished? Oh yeah, there we go. Now I found it. Oh my god. It's also there all the time.
Don't worry about it. So GergisKan not being aggressive, but putting outposts all over Marauder's base, I guess just to keep an eye on him.
Right.
It's a choice. Oh,
not even an eye on him.
There's go to the right. There's a castle coming in on Marauder's TC. So there we go. There's going to be a first aggressive movement there. And Marauder's got no answer. He is completely unprepared to do anything about this.
Right.
It's a shame.
It's a shame indeed. I'm not even sure if he...
Just building his first barracks now. Yeah, has nothing to say about this. So that TC is going down. And with that, no control over that gold. And I think that's no control over any gold from Marauder then.
Wow. I'm just
completely moving south with all those villagers.
Right. This is going to be crucial for him, because I was first of all a bit more happy about Dave's decision to put down more TCs, which would then ensure a bit later that he could build some stables and produce a lot of knights there opposing incoming Huskars. But now none of this is going to take place. Instead, we see this huge castle in front of his base and absolutely no military to fight this one off. There's just one barracks and that's all. Huskars are being produced, therefore looking gloomy for now.
Huskars make one heck of a raiding unit because they don't care about TC fire pretty much at all.
Right, they just take the TC, they just take it, you know, that's all.
But I believe they're starting out with 6 pierce armor. That's not really going to be much damage at all.
And they have bonus damage against buildings.
Yeah. And it seems like GergisKan's just happy to keep queuing up Huskars, and once he's got enough to do something, he's probably going to let him loose in that eco.
Question now is, what can Marauder do against this? I mean, he is putting down some stone walls, just to be cautious there, to secure his resources, which is good for now, but it won't save him from anything for a long time, because those are just walls. You can just break him after some time.
Well, he's got time right now because GergisKan is completely tapped out resource-wise. I believe Marauder / Dave and Bulletchen took the water for a little while and completely cleared up any fish that both Lotario and GergisKan have. But now Lotario is moving around the water, so he's looking to return the favor. Well, let's see. Do we see any action between Bulletchen and Lotario? No, they seem to also be happy to continue booming.
Right.
And take this later. Maybe push us towards that 7-hour goal.
Exactly.
Lotario is making a move that you'd love to see. He's placing his first castle on top of a hill.
Exactly. I was going to say
2 gold piles and a stone.
Right. I love it.
Sure. And then 2 town centers nearby. Wait, how many towns? Oh, he's just now dropping TC 2 and 3.
So he's just
at that moment, Bulletchen's putting a tower on his wood line, and I don't think Lotario knows of this. Oh, Lotario can see this just fine, and starts moving some villagers away to begin with.
Yeah.
But that's not going to hurt Lotario too much. He's got plenty of wood lines to move to.
Exactly. That was just my point that I wanted to say. He could have started placing this tower ages ago. Literally just... Once he hits Feudal Age, he could have just done this in order to take care of this gold, also of this wood there. But no, he just drops it now. I don't think that this is the best decision to do it right now. It will be helpful because at the same time he's building a siege workshop. Therefore, I assume that he is gonna go for some pressure very soon. But I see no sign of other military there. Let me see about any military that he has. I mean... 2 2 military units are there, but they're moving, probably just as fire galleys. So I'm not very sure what his next move is going to be. He has the Malians. He will be able to do a lot of stuff there for sure. Really versatile considering their army. But not sure what's going to take place. At the same time, looking at GergisKan, we see the Goths, the Huskars are doing their job. They took care of the TC, and now Marauder, Dave, is putting up even more stone walls to buy himself a bit more time.
We still have yet to see him make any sort of move that says he's getting ready to handle this. Oh wait, he has a stable over to the right. Very funny placement where he got it, but it is in there. Over to the right of where those where the barracks is that's getting battered down.
Right.
Strange, but it'll work.
It'll work for now, that's for sure. But
Well, we
GergisKan...
will say, yeah, he put a tower behind Dave's base, but that villager that was building outposts everywhere, that villager eventually dropped a tower and is working on the second one right now.
Exactly.
But look, it looks like it's going to get cleared up with a knight from Marauder here. Or not, or just going to be completely skipped over and that tower might go up.
Alright, so we see the first person clicking up to Imperial Age, which is Bulletchen. I mean, something really logical if you just allow both players, that Lotario and Bulletchen, just to do whatever they want to do. I mean, so far we just see one mangonel by Bulletchen, just taking care of that house. Question now is, what will his next plan be like? He's going for scale mail armor. Will he build a castle? No, he's building barracks. Will he maybe go for champions? Or will he actually go for helps? As in helps in siege? Could be.
We see actually, at the moment, we see Petards coming in from GergisKan. Looks like he's trying to quickly blow a place.
Oh, really?
Blow a hole through the wall and running with his Huskars and do some raiding.
Oh my god.
But Marauder's ready. Marauder's dropping stone walls behind it.
Good and well anticipated.
We'll call that kind of a quick wall. But he's got to hurry up because that blacksmith is not going to last long against this many Huskars.
Yep.
And there we go. There it goes. He's got walls up, but they're weak. He needs to get across there and finish some of those.
I guess he will be able to do that one. Just the one that they're attacking at the moment. So oh, there's actually a gap. Oh my god.
They're in. They're in the hole.
Oh. Awful now. This is really awful.
I still want to see what Marauder's plan is here. I really need to see. We really need to see something out of him other than boom and slowly get taken. Like he's rebuilt or built a large eco to the south of where he originally was. But it's just gonna take GergisKan finding out that he's there to do something about it.
Right.
GergisKan is completely coming in with towers all over his base.
True. Oh man. Really, it's quite amazing how he does that. He is so much behind on population, probably investing most of his resources with his... I mean, he has 3 TCs now, so that's... Maybe you just start with that one a bit late.
He's actually pretty much exactly with Lotario population. He's actually ahead of GergisKan. He's at 91 pop while GergisKan's at 77.
Alright.
So even though GergisKan's definitely taking map control here, he's not keeping up population-wise. I think that's just because he's so tapped out resource-wise with this push. But now he's building up resource. Now he's got the villagers to have an eco behind this.
Alright.
So we'll see. This might be Marauder's chance to regain his base back, maybe with a couple of mangonels to take out these towers. We'll see.
True. Really interesting now from Bulletchen as well. He decides to make use out of the Malian's infantry bonus there. Quite some tanky 200 swordsmen that he has. So he actually goes for a mixture of... I mean, he had some siege there. It's gone now. But he will proceed producing more champions. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Probably because he's aware of the fact that his enemy is Italians. Going in there with knights wouldn't have been a good decision. Therefore, I actually like this attempt. He just needs to make sure that he goes up with those barracks ASAP and get the production started. So far, I don't see too much of that taking place. At the same time, Marauder's being eaten up here completely. A lot of pikemen here. And this is not good for him at all. Because you said it as well, there's not much of any kind of option against this. I mean, I don't see any knights anymore. There's just GergisKan all over the place, putting down more towers as gods. Good stuff.
I wonder if if Marauder just is kind of biding his time here, letting this base take up GergisKan's time while he just is focusing more in the south.
Yeah.
I mean, that's extremely strange to say, but that seems to be what's happening.
All right.
And GergisKan, GergisKan is unaware of exactly how much Dave has to the south. But that's the only thing that's making any sense right now. And sometimes even though it doesn't make sense, that's what's actually happening.
Right. That's absolutely correct. I'm just happy for Dave at the moment that his Imp TC is down in the south. And actually not that one that is being attacked by the Huskars. Something that could have happened as well.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely terrible to see.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my god.
We see GergisKan putting in more barracks. Did you happen to see if he researched Anarchy yet?
Anarchy, yeah, I've actually tried to have an eye on that, but I am not sure. Let me just look at that for a second. So just need to remember the colors here. The bright green was being tagged. Oh no, that's actually the wrong civ here. Goths. Let's see about that one. He has arson, squires, and whatnot, and he does have anarchy, doesn't he? Kinda confused. No, he should have it. Yeah, should be fine. It's just a guess now because I'm kind of confused with the colors there, but it should be fine.
So you're saying he does have it at the moment already?
I guess so. I mean, you can see that if you look at the tag tree, then you can see the colors, and I guess the bright green means it is tagged, and the dark green says it is not tagged.
Huh, it's strange that we're not seeing any use of it though.
Let me see again though before I'm spreading fake news. Just about the colors here, basically. Oh, actually I'm taking that back. I guess dark green? Oh. What is it? I guess it is already tagged. That is my guess for now. But you say that he's not making use out of that. Why so?
Because he's got two barracks in Marauder's base here, and he just keeps making pikemen. While if he had anarchy, he could be putting Huskarls out of these two barracks. Maybe making quick work of what's left of this base up here. Witchcraft. What do you mean by that?
Oh yeah, I guess that's a fair point because there were a lot of texts also having that color. So I'm kind of confused now. I always went with that color type of approach. It worked out, but now I'm super confused because according to that color theory of mine, he should have also had spies and treason, which doesn't make sense.
When I open it up, I see something much different than yours. So maybe yours is bugged out at the moment.
Could be.
Yeah, I see all dark greens. So your color thing definitely makes sense. That is how it's supposed to work, but I think it just bugged out.
Unfortunate. But thinking of this now, it actually makes sense that he goes for a lot of pikes there. They're cheap. They don't afford gold. He has gold though. But actually thinking of that, the enemy could also have come up with knights, especially since he's Persian, and there are a lot of cavaliers, and they do actually well against Huskars. So actually going for pikes makes sense, in my opinion. GergisKan actually doing the right thing.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that Bulletchen is putting so much pressure in Lotario, taking out a good portion of, took out his original TC where he was originally taking wood and completely moved in there. And his bombard cannon's coming in as well to take down that castle on top of the hill. And if that castle drops, I think a lot of this base falls behind it.
That could really be...
So what do you take? Do you take champions or do you take condotieros in a matchup?
That is a good question, because we had the same issue with Nobody, where the Malian guy teamed up with an Italian guy, and the Malian guy went for condotieros against Genoese crossbowmen. It was a mirror match. and there are several theories, or not even theories, but arguments for both of them. The thing is, champions are really expensive because they do need a lot of text there, right, in order to reach champions. But Conotero, they are just Conoteros, right? You just need the text from the blacksmith there, and that's fine. But I guess going for champions in the end is the more effective thing. They're stronger, therefore it makes more sense. It's still also the more expensive way to go for. I actually like Bulletchen's choice here.
Okay. Well, Bulletchen didn't have Conoteros available to him, so I meant more of the matchup.
Oh,
but
the matchup,
like it seems like it's proven itself, and Bulletchen+Marauder are going to be taking this game simply because they completely took Lotario out of it.
For sure, for sure. That's true. That's interesting. Wow, I'm kind of surprised here. Bulletchen actually did some work here. Marauder just held on there. GergisKan, unfortunately not effective enough. So actually what you've just mentioned was right, considering Marauder's move. Why did he allow GergisKan to do all of this? Basically to buy more time, right? And just leaving that base be. He has another sweet base in the south. That gave Bulletchen a lot of time there to boom, get up a strong army there that proved really well against Conoteros in the end. Those tanky champions of the Malians. Really strong there, +8 pierce armor, +4 main armor. Good stuff indeed. I kind of impressed here. I thought GergisKan would have been too deadly, but Marauder actually escaped well there.
Yeah, I think this shows us what comes down to a lot of games. The answer is scouting. Even though GergisKan was completely taken over whatever he wanted to do with Marauder. Just because he wasn't putting the pressure where Marauder actually cared, it didn't win them the game. We got a couple people in the chat talking about the champs versus the champs choice, and saying they're evenly matched with fully upgraded Husk Girls. So thanks for that. Oh, that's low.
Oh, that's
GS.
Yeah, that's Joshua. That's Joshua. That's a mate of mine.
Joshua.
Yeah, I mean, let's call him Joshua. But it works. He's fine with that. He said. It's all good.
Okay, that works. That works. Okay, Sergus Wolf was helping you out with maybe you just weren't on the player's view when you went into tech tree.
Yeah, which I did
as well. Okay. Oh, that's weird. It just wasn't working for you then. Witchcraft Lotario saying he made a wrong move by sending a lot of his crossbows to the north. Well, he's probably trying to defend GergisKan, who was getting hit by a lot of Cavalier at the time, so he's probably trying to help out there. Who's winning? Nobody. It is currently tied up 1-1. GergisKan and Lotario got the first game, and Bulletchen and Vicious+Marauder, aka Dave, just took the second game.
Exactly. So it's starting really well in my opinion. Now game 3 is going to take place in a couple of seconds, which is basically having the rule teams choose between Chinese, Persians, Maya, Spanish, Malians, and Italians. Wow, those are just top tier civs. We had the same situation on last Friday on the Gold League winners bracket final. Also the same pool. Which kind of civs would you choose actually? If you were to choose.
I wonder if I stall for about 40 seconds if I can just see the answer.
I mean, your personal choice. What would you go for? Italians again?
I believe I heard most of the pool. It seems like most of the pool is what we just saw in these last games here. So, I think it's already made for me. I'd like to see. How about a Persians and Italians matchup? Persians Italians on the same team is what I mean by that. Going with the noob reasoning here. I don't really have one, so we'll see how it works out.
All right.
Oh wait, Chinese was in the mix.
Yeah,
I missed
Chinese.
Oh, Chinese. Oh, you got to pick Chinese on your team then for Nomad.
Right.
Starting out with 6 villagers is so much more helpful.
I think so too. They have their advantages, but they're also so hard to play, in my opinion. So versatile at the same time. You really got to go for the right combinations with all of those possibilities they have. The right unit compositions as well. But if you choose the right one, if you anticipate the enemy's moves really well, you can actually be really, really strong with Chinese for sure. So without further ado though, let us start with the next game. Game number 3. So hello everyone. My name is Red, and I'm here together with Willis, and we're both casting the Nomad Battlegrounds Silver League Winners Bracket Final between GergisKan+Lotario against Bulletchen and GergisMarauder, aka Dave. And starting with the locations here, I'm just gonna start with Bulletchen again because he's really close to my initial screen here. He is, we gotta be really specific here because we have a map with a pond in the middle. He's on the left hand side of this pond, quite central actually to the map in total, but yeah, it's kind of on the left here. He has chosen the Chinese, so Willis is happy about this one for sure. And also his teammate there, Marauder, on the right hand side this time, so it's kind of northeast of this pond here. And he has chosen the Mayans. Oh, nice, good stuff. And what about the others, Willis? Would you please be so kind and tell us?
We've got Lotario. He's in the far north as the Persians. He's put himself near wood. He's on a berry patch. That TC should have been moved a few tiles. It could have been much better, but we'll take it for now. He'll have deer nearby. Resources, I'm going to say, are okay at best. I'm going to lean towards actually kind of bad. I'm going to be trying to push deer in with a villager. He's got no sheep in sight. I think his teammate GergisKan's actually sending him one sheep to help him out. That's not just scouting. He's going to be in a pretty bad shape here. And going a little bit to the south, a little bit to the west, his teammate GergisKan in the blue, playing as the Chinese, as just like Bulletchen. He's just on wood. He's found some sheep, luckily, so he's made this position work for him. But originally, it wasn't looking that great. If I switch to his point of view, did we see a dock from him? I don't think he's docked. We saw this from them last game too. They didn't initially dock. Lotario did this time though. He's docked all the way to the north. Addressing the chat a little bit here, Joshua. Persian douching is allowed in this tournament. I don't think we're going to see it right now though. We saw it earlier in the tournament though. Knowing Orange talking about Gergis did so good. Well, they did win first game. And then Witchcraft, can you reach the pond from the ocean by boat? It looks like you can, but no, there's 2 pieces of land blocking off being able to get across there. It's very close, but it's not going to happen. So we'll see if people fight over it or if one person gets to take the whole thing for themselves. Well, we'll open up some discussion here. Demise, what do you think about the choice for both Chinese and mines on the same team? Would you go for 2 archer civs?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good question. You just said it, 2 archer civs, question mark. You don't have to necessarily go for archers for both civs. Maybe you can do some team play. The one goes for plumed archers, for instance, and the other one first goes into, I don't know, knights would be a good choice. I could see that one happening with a strong eco. Maybe later then adding some Chukanus would be also good stuff. But siege also good option there. That is one way to do it. Or the other way around. So the Chinese guy going for archer type of action, also including the Chukanus. And the other one, the Mayan one, actually going for Eagle Warriors. That's also a way to do it. Especially in the late game, I like to see Eagle Warriors, because they're kind of a really annoying unit type, really fast, and also still not cavalry, right? And really tanky considering arrow fire, at least till the end of the game. Then if the enemy has bracer and arbalest, it's gonna be tough with Eagle Warriors, but before that they have this huge momentum of being super tanky then. There are choices, and I do not think that both will go for archers. It could be a way, it could be also surprising, and it could maybe also pay off because the enemies is only Chinese and Persians, and not, I don't know, Goths and Persians or something like that. So that is one way to look at it. I'm just wondering which one of them will go for the archer approach, and also which one of them will actually go for some kind of early aggression type of approach, as in feudal action or something like this. This will also be a parameter to involve in your thoughts when thinking, what kind of units will they choose. So let's see about that.
All right, well, T90 tuning in from the chat here saying Chinese could go for Knights, Camel / Smush, so we'll see that. Well, we're going to take a look at Lotario, bringing a new meaning to Team Wall here. As far as I'm concerned, I thought Team Wall meant you work together and you kind of put yourself behind one wall, but Lotario's taking it up a notch. He's saying Team Wall means I'm going to wall my teammate out because we're on a team. Okay. I've never quite seen somebody do that on purpose, but okay.
Yeah.
You know, to each their own. I'm the noob here. I will learn from their strategies. I think I can say this one's a little weird. Maybe drop that wall down to the wood line, to the pond here. Mm-hmm. But whatever. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's a little weird.
For sure. I mean, the way you just said that, too hilarious. But you're right, especially that one palisade on the north of GergisKan's map, right? It's just, you know, if I would have seen it, my teammate doing this move, I would be certainly surprised and also slightly disappointed. But, well, this is how you can do it as well. Probably they have some plan to it. There's also some stuff taking place. Speaking of Lotario there, who is actually attacking Marauder's Dave's dogs there. Doc.
Oh, wow, that's a shame to see that happen, because there's going to be no answer for that. There's nothing to do right now to stop that.
Yeah, that is certainly...
All right, it's going to keep addressing the chat a little bit here. Yeah, Chuk, this is Nomad Battlegrounds. It's the silver bracket final. I believe the winner of this gets back into the gold bracket, I think is what's going on here.
I don't think so. The winner of this silver league, I mean, they will stay on the silver league, and the gold brackets will also stay just with themselves there. I mean, in the gold brackets, there's a winner bracket and a loser bracket. The same is also taking place in the silver league. And as far as I've understood, the winner of this match will actually move on to the silver league grand final. There we go. And there they will be facing, as far as I know, the winner of the loser bracket. Kind of complicated, but that's actually what's taking place. So this is the second most important match at the moment. The next one, the grand finals, will be obviously the most important one.
Okay. I think I followed. I hope the chat followed as well. Thank you for clearing that up.
No problems, man.
I guess I'm getting lost in the brackets with everything we've been looking at, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have so much to cast.
Right. Exactly. Completely agreed. All right.
Okay, we are going to see that GergisKan has docked the pond, so we might see some feudal fighting between Bulletchen and GergisKan. Bulletchen's going to be the first one up by, looks like, about 12 seconds, so let's make sure he drops a fire galley immediately to begin with.
That's for sure. There are some possibilities for him, at least in feudal age, as he's the earliest there. But all of them quite late, if you ask me. Villager-wise, Bulletchen with 23 villagers. That's quite of a low number there. But on the other hand, we got GergisKan, for instance, with 26 villagers. So I see him being the guy who goes for an approach more based on castle age. Not sure though, we'll see. And other than that, everything quite calm. Really interesting though, everything is kind of taking place on one side of the whole map. So 50% is being taken over by all the players. The rest is simply just free. And that is perfect for Marauder and Bulletchen. Look at all the resources in the bag.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at the walls too. Depending on how late this game goes, that's going to be a really big deal to have this much map control. Not because it was taken by aggression, because it just happened that way.
Right.
It's going to be crazy.
Right. Actually, GergisKan+Lotario being boxed in here with little resources in comparison to the rest of here. So much gold still there. There's so much potential. And if they manage to keep on having this for themselves, it'll be just awful for Lotario and GergisKan, because they will run out of resources very soon. Because looking at their base at the moment, there are just a couple of golds, one or two of them. That's that, and the rest just a bit of stone there. This is not gonna be enough for the late game for sure. But on the other hand, Marauder and Bulletchen, wow, that's just paradise there, straight.
So we see both Bulletchen and GergisKan going to the castle age. Lotario just clicked up, so we're only waiting on Marauder. So what it seems like last game, both teams were completely fine, just waiting to get up to castle. Kinda surprised to see that. I'm a little bit worried about Marauder's position right now, because if you think about Bulletchen, he's walled. GergisKan's walled. Lotario's taking team wall to a whole new level. Marauder completely open. All it would take is Bulletchen. Oh, Bulletchen doesn't even have to loot a piece. He has a gate ready. So if he goes straight into Knights, he'd come right into Dave's TC here, or Dave's eco, and there's nothing to miss. Nothing to say. Nothing to do about it. Woo, that was a little bit difficult to come out for some reason. So
good.
I'm a little concerned for him. No barracks up, no anything. So the pain's gonna come. And he's got no answer for it. And he still hasn't clicked up. He's going to be so far behind everybody.
That is true indeed. I mean, he has some plans. We can see 4 villages in stone. So this looks like he's going to go for some castle. He went for wheelbarrow, which takes a lot of time to be teched, of course. At the same time, just looking at his stone count, he has 700 stone now. So he will be able to put his castle down very soon. Looking at a position to go for it. I mean, he could build defensively in some way, but I guess putting it just on the left side of his TC would make sense for the beginning at least, and just produce a lot of plumed archers from there. This should be fine. When managed well and when microed well, plumed archers do well against knights. Let's see about that though. Bulletchen certainly on the other hand having ambitions to take over the water. Going for War Galley. So let's see how this will turn out.
He's completely taken that pawn. He's got too much of an advantage right now for GergisKan to do anything about it without really investing here. And he's got 2 demos queued up right now, another Fire Galley being built. But I think it's too little too late. War Galley's going to come in before those demos are used, so he's going to upgrade to fire ships. He'd have to be very good with micro to get this, because they're all at full health here. So we'll see. We'll see in the next second or two here what he does with it.
There we go.
And oh, looks like he's gonna just misplay it.
No.
Oh, wait. Oh. No. Okay. Yeah. Nowhere near enough damage output.
Underwhelming.
So
indeed.
Bulletchen's gonna keep water very, very well here. I was pointed out by chat that Dave was taking water completely on his side, so he's got just as much as an advantage. So that's good for him.
That is for sure. He took over the water there really well. Unfortunately for GergisKan, he did not manage to do so well with his demolition ships there. I do not think that both GergisKan and Lotario are, from what I've seen with you for now, they are not that familiar with working on water, it seems, right? Especially in the other games, they didn't go for dogs at first. They have also lost the water a couple of times there. And therefore, I think GergisKan and Lotario, they always want to go as much as they can at least for some land-based action. Let's see if this is gonna turn out to be the right decision here on Nomad Battlegrounds. Yeah.
I think Marauder's having a little bit of trouble with scouting, where he just put his stone wall. I don't think he realized he could have went all the way up to that wood line and dropped it right where that palisade wall is. He would have been just fine. Seems to have a little bit, unless he's considering that the back of his base now. That's a little bit of a strange decision. Another one, he let one fire raft take out all but one of his fishing ships. That's sad to see.
Sad stuff indeed, for sure. At the same time, just looking at Dave's map here, plumed archers, they're on their way. Also, he's getting some fletching there. I think he'll go for a botgun very, very soon. Would make sense at least. And at the same time, just looking at Lotario here. What does he actually do? I mean, he has the Persians. And he
has 2 knights running around, annoying Bulletchen. They first annoyed Marauder, then they went all the way around to annoy Bulletchen by running in the back. But Bulletchen teched into War Galley, and actually that wasn't just to get up to fire ships. That was to harass GergisKan's eco from the pond here.
Right.
That's going pretty well for him. Pushed him off those farms and pushed the villagers back.
Indeed. That looks really good. Now it's really good, to be honest. What I don't like at the moment is Lotario. I mean, you said it. He's there a little bit annoying with his 2 knights. But those knights are not even teched to... They are even being converted now here. So he didn't even have any techs on them. That is mostly because he directly went for 3 TCs. Which of course has a downside that you cannot go on military anytime soon, at least, and not that efficiently. It's really difficult to sustain 2 stables production there. And we see that there's only one stable working at the moment. And maybe this is actually the wrong decision there, because there's this army of plumed archers now. Dave has Botkin Arrow, and now he's about to start his raiding there. Getting one villager, the second one maybe as well. And from there it will be really tough. How will we be able to solve the situation here? GergisKan does well by some quick walling. He's successful with that, but at the same time now he is the one being raided. His woodline is in danger now. Oh,
yeah, that one house wasn't touched, so he could just walk right in, and a lot of those villagers are gonna go down in a hurry here. Oh, they're actually, are they stuck in? No, they could move around. That's a bad play to stand and fight here. Those villagers could run. Wow, how many are we seeing drop right now? Oh, that had to be. That was more than 10, maybe 15.
wow.
Oof.
Wow.
Yikes.
Shoot.
I'm gonna say it was about 20 villagers just got taken out there. Let's see, he went down to 46. I want to say he was closer to 60, so maybe about 15. Whew.
That's a lot for sure.
They're not calling GG, but we did see
Yeah.
GergisKan saying it in his own chat to his teammate there.
Right.
Yeah, he's worried about what just happened. That was a lot.
For
That was a
sure.
lot of free damage that didn't need to happen.
Yeah. Question now is, do you see any hope for Lotario and GergisKan now? Especially considering the map, you know, that in the back, Bulletchen+Marauder have a lot of resources still. And Bulletchen actually the one scouting here at the moment, the back of this whole map here. Do you think there's some way for Lotario to come back out of the situation, together with GergisKan?
I don't think the game's closed out yet, but Marauder and Bulletchen have the favorable position by an extremely large margin here. But they haven't put any damage on, any game for sure maneuvers here. So we're gonna have to see a lot. We're gonna have to see a lot more, and definitely see a lot more raiding, a lot more pushing before we say that the game's even close to over. Map-wise, yes. By far, better position, so much more resources. They could play it. They could honestly just play it extremely slow and defensively, and just slowly crush in. As Bulletchen's been scouting, I believe now they completely know that they're not really anywhere to be found back there. I wish he'd scout a little bit harder to be sure, so that they could say, okay, they're definitely only here. Let's put all our focus here and win this game, close it out. But they haven't quite done that yet, so we'll see. We'll say at this point it's their game to lose.
Right. That's for sure. And what is disappointing me a bit more is the fact that Lotario's Knights still have no upgrades to them, which makes them really significantly, to say the least, weak against TC fire. Also, this upcoming army of plumed archers. There's little hope if he doesn't go for Tex anytime soon. I guess it was really not the best decision to go for 3 TCs that fast. At the same time, I'm not pretty much convinced of the amount of farms here for 3 TC setup. Having 2 stables there, it's a bit tough. Really tough, to say the least here. And instead, Bulletchen is the one getting chain barding armor and clicking up for Imp. So we can see some other units being produced by him pretty soon. Now that he's stopped taking care of the water because he has gained full control over that one, he will most likely just go for knights himself. That is the case.
Yeah, well, to add to your point there of some of the advice I'm getting is don't add TCs when you lack map control, and that's exactly what we saw there. And that is why while it's playing into Marauder's hand on the right. You can't go full boom if you're not already winning a different piece of the game here. And that's what he tried to play, not realizing they were so backed into a corner resource wise. I mean, really, they both only have 1 gold to work with. Both have 2 stones, but if you take a look at GergisKan's, you can see how saturated that is just for him to keep up. How many villagers he's putting on that one piece of gold. So maybe they could drop a lot of castles and bide their time, but that would be the only thing I could see.
And it is over. GergisKan actually calling GG. That is GG.
Yeah, that seems like it was a nice, let's say, professional GG. Wait, Lotario's still playing.
Right, that's the thing. GergisKan just said in team chat, yes, GG, and then called it GG in the main chat, and now it's just done. So I guess GergisKan was not too happy about what happened here.
All right, well then I'm gonna say Lotario pulled a play out of my book there. When I know it's GG, and I have that many mangonels out, I continue playing until those mangonels die. See if I can get a couple good shots in, just for fun first. See what I can do with them, right. And then I'll leave.
That's one way to do it for sure. All right, just updating the score here. It's 2-1 now. Bulletchen+Marauder leading now. And let's just go back to the main screen here for a second. Okay, so that is it for game 3. It was really intense. What do you say, Wallace? Do you think the positioning played a huge role in this map here? I mean, I am certainly saying this one. Do you think this was crucial?
I will back that up 100%. As you can see, this isn't quite the highest level of play, but definitely higher than myself, and definitely well above average. Calling the GG before the game's way over, it's because all players could see that, okay, they're just in such a better position than us. Even if we don't lose in the next 10 minutes, there's nothing we can do to push this back. And that was just because of positioning, just because they were so far only on that small piece of map. They only had 1 gold apiece. They did have 2 stones each, but Bulletchen and Marauder just had the rest of the map to do whatever they wanted with, and it just would have kept steamrolling. Not only would GergisKan+Lotario run out of gold pretty quickly, we could even see relics come into play, and then it just would have been trash versus gold, and you just can't push with trash in that situation.
Right.
So they knew they could call it. They knew they could just, hey, not waste your time. GG, let's go on to game number 4.
Right. And speaking of which, game number 4 is going to be team random again. I mean, I'm just saying again because it was the same for the other matches, or the whole games that we've watched on normal backgrounds. Game 4 being team random there in a best of 7. That means that we'll have kind of mirror match in which the team's gonna have similar civs there. Let's see how this is gonna turn out to be. The game is gonna start right now.
It seems like we've got Chinese and Vikings on each team here. If you don't mind introducing. This is Demi's Rise casting. Will's 35's co-casting with him. This is game number 4 of the winner brackets final of the Silver League Nomads Battleground. Winner this is going on to the grand final. We're currently casting a best of 7. It's currently 2-1 in favor of Bulletchen and Marauder.
Alright, so that is it. Welcome everyone, also from me. And starting with the positions of the players here, just gonna start with Bulletchen again, who is kind of to the right of the map here, central right there, central east, dropping down his TC there, and he has the Vikings. And looking at his map, this base that he's creating here at the moment, he has some options, stone quite near to him. I don't like the position of his TC, to be really honest. He could have moved this one a bit more to the right at least, but maybe that's just me. You know, I just like it when the TC is really attached to the wood somehow. At the same time, just looking at the other resources that he has a lot of resources in the back, a lot of gold there. If he makes sure that this area is kind of walled off and kind of safe against enemy actions, he sure has no problems getting proper gold income there. So that is fine, all in all. Looking at his teammate Dave, who's on the left hand side, and he has a Chinese. He has decided to go really close to the shore. He is at the shore there and has the possibility to go for some shorefish. But at the same time, looking at the food resources, not many to say the least. He is getting a boar there. He needs to be careful. No, it's fine since he got the loom. All good then, all good. Getting the shorefish is a good idea. Same time, getting the wild boar right now is good. And the other resources are quite far away. He has a stone, which is really close to the enemy there, unfortunately for him. Gold is also there in the south then, which is kind of exposed, so not the best position there in my opinion, for given reasons. What do you think about the others, Willis?
Well, we see Lotario to the northwest of Marauder here. He's on wood and stone. He has fantastic deer around his TC. But he's going to be in the same position where his gold's kind of far away. It's not exposed because it's behind him, but it's quite far, and it's going to be a while before he locks that down, maybe throwing a TC on. It'll be a great spot for a TC, but that won't be till much later in the game. So if we see any fuel aggression, that's going to be the place to hit. His dock, he did dock immediately, which we haven't been seeing from this team every time, so that's good to see. Get him fish right out.
Right.
Going over to pretty much the dead center of the map is GergisKan sorry about that, cut it out a little bit. And so he's on wood, he's got sheep, he's got a boar, and he's got gold, he's got extra gold to the left. And that's gonna work out just fine for him.
Yeah.
Continue. So I say it's an okay. There's okay TC, definitely a good TC drop from GergisKan. Okay, because of all the deer making up for it, but I really would like to see Lotario closer to a gold. And actually, if we take his chance to look at his field of, or fog of war here, he has no idea about that gold. As far as he knows, he hasn't located any, and that's going to take a lot of time for him scouting to figure that out.
Yeah, that is for sure. That's really unfortunate. He does the best by using his sheep at the moment, and if he does well and if he's lucky enough, he will find it in a couple of seconds. Otherwise, this would be really bad for him. Let's see about that. He should be close. He will
yeah,
be
it looks
there.
like he's making the right choices, and he's going to find it.
Yeah, there we go. He found it. That's good. Finally. So at least he found out about that one. That's good for him. Still, the position of that gold kind of exposed there. He needs to make sure that the enemy won't go there anytime soon. But I guess the left-hand side of the map is kind of safe for now because it's the place where Lotario is himself. So I don't think that Marauder will be on the left-hand side anytime soon, unless he goes for some tower-based strat there surrounding the enemy. Maybe sometime later though. We will see about that. And yeah, GergisKan, you've mentioned it. He's pretty much in the center of the map. Always a good position to go for boom, actually, because you got all the space, but at the same time you are pretty much the center of the map, right? I mean, everyone can attack you from all the sides. You gotta make sure that you're not being surrounded. You gotta make sure that if it's a 2v2, that you at least have only one enemy to fight against. Therefore, your teammate needs to take care of the other enemy there, which should be the case this time, because Lotario is really close to Dave there. And therefore, GergisKan's direct opponent would be Bulletchen. So that is okay for him. Other than that though, Chinese Vikings. That is interesting indeed. So this time I would think, okay, Vikings actually with pretty much of a good water economy there. They have a lot of possibilities there, also military wise. And the Chinese ones being maybe mainly responsible this time for land-based actions. Maybe what T90 said a couple of minutes ago could be an option, going for some kind of, what was it again, smush type of action from at least one of the players. I am not sure if this is going to take place, but there are the possibilities. But right now we see some Civ war, right?
A lot of villager fighting going on right now.
Wow.
All because GergisKan walled in one of Bulletchen's villagers, and that just brought on the war. I was hoping to see feudal aggression because they're so close together. But that's not what we're going to see. We're going to see just villager all-out batter-down warfare here. And that's something you don't see all the time. Definitely not to this extent at all. Oh, pull back your bills. No reason to lose a single build TC fire. Oh, I think is it because they were fighting over the berries? Maybe just that spawned the Great Vil War of Nomad Battlegrounds 2018. I'm not sure. How many deaths do we see so far? We see,
I guess about 5.
So yeah, GergisKan lost 3, Bulletchen lost 2. Okay.
Therefore, I'd say so.
So better fight for Bulletchen technically there, but it looks so much more aggressive than that to see that many Vils fighting.
Right.
Looks like Bulletchen's gonna get the walls up here.
As well as GergisKan, he's placing that house there, also finishing the palisade wall. But knowing GergisKan's play now for a couple of matches, then I think he won't just stop, just with this action. He will probably drop a tower maybe, just to deny those bushes there. Could be one way to do it. Let's see about that. Most importantly though, at the moment, Dave has clicked up. He is on his way to feudal age as the only one.
Well, it's nice to see him. You don't see it nearly often enough, but seeing a player take advantage of shorefish being the fastest food collection in the game.
Right.
So that's really nice to see.
Exactly.
That's definitely giving him a little bit of an edge at the moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty
I'd like to see him place a tower on the hill, place a tower on that stone.
Right.
It would lock out that stone, and he'd be able to continue dropping towers. Now, Lotario would be able to defend because he's got a stone next to his TC. But it'd be nice to see. Not that we always want to see towers, but this particular map is definitely a case for him. GergisKan going up to feudal, and Bulletchen hasn't even clicked. So if we're gonna see towers, it's probably gonna come from that area right there.
Right, I'd say so as well.
Unfortunate.
For sure. That is true indeed what you've just said. GergisKan probably will go for some tower-based action. He has the Chinese, so I don't see any reason why he shouldn't do it. At the same time, I'm just thinking about the situation here between Marauder and Lotario. Lotario is the one placing outposts at the moment in order to keep an eye on Marauder, just to be sure that Dave doesn't do anything sneaky there. At the same time, looking at Bulletchen, he just walls off the base for now. Also going for some... Was that actually laming? Yeah, that was some laming now by GergisKan. Look at what he did here. He just took care of that deer first of all, just because it was there. But now, most importantly, I guess he will go for some towers there. Look at those.
Yes, he definitely will be. He's been on stone. He's at 315 stone right now. He's been on stone for quite some time with 7 villagers. And he's been dropping outposts everywhere.
Right.
But it looks like Bulletchen's on it, and he's going up to maybe batter down those villagers. I hope... he backed one off. That's unfortunate to see. But it looks like he could deny this tower and very quickly batter it down if he micros properly here.
Alright, let's see.
It looks like he'll be able to.
The tower will be up, but that's all. So those vills will be actually successful in taking that one down. Question now is, what will GergisKan do about that one? Because he was quite ambitious there with just placing one tower there. He should have had at least a backup tower, so those villagers of Bulletchen wouldn't be able to hit that tower. But now, that's actually, first of all of it, considering the tower rush of GergisKan. I'm not sure if he will continue his tower rush there.
It seems like he's backing off, but it is working out because it's taking a lot of Bulletchen's attention. Even just with a little bit of repairing, Bulletchen's forced to send 2 more vills out.
Right.
And it hasn't gone down yet. And it might stand by the end of this, but Bulletchen is dropping another tower to stop any further ones coming in if GergisKan tries to go that direction. But Bullet's going to lose villas. He's going to lose all his vills that he sent here.
Right.
Unless he's a little bit more careful. But one's extremely weak. The other one is getting battered down right now.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get away with him, but it was a little too close for comfort there.
That's true indeed. And you've mentioned it as well, Bulletchen's tower there, just to be sure that the gold is kind of safe, maybe the wood line. At the same time though, I'm pretty much impressed by GergisKan's placements of the house there. Because whenever he wants to, he can just delete that house and have a good entry there into the base of Bulletchen. Therefore, he doesn't even need to go close to the enemy tower there. He can just delete the house right now and just... No, he won't do that actually. No, he does now.
That seems to be the plan.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
He's going in. So bad move by Bulletchen. Kind of should have seen that. And now he ungarrisons a lot of villagers. Oh, it looked like he was going to go for the batter down, but it's not happening.
Haha, it's not happening for sure. Wow. And now another tower coming up.
Did you notice GergisKan had dropped another tower? He has 1 villager working, dropping towers behind Bulletchen's base.
Right, right.
It's kind of a throwback to game number 1 here.
Exactly.
Of this set, very best of 7.
Wow. That is true indeed. I'm just looking at Marauder and Lotario there for a second to catch up on some actions that we might miss. So far, nothing happening. But the most notable thing at the moment is Lotario dropping down a siege workshop there. So we will probably see some mangonels very soon.
Lotario earlier abused the market very heavily. He sold 2,000 wood in order to get up to castle a lot faster.
Wow. That's something for sure.
But Marauder seems to be catching up now. Vill numbers are going to be pretty much even. Score numbers way higher. I wonder if that's just... That's probably just because of abusing the market. Yeah, Lotario doesn't have nearly as much in the bank. So, but Lotario's going to get a Mangonel out first and immediately be putting pressure on that TC. And with that hill bonus, that TC is going to get hurt pretty fast.
That's for sure. You're absolutely right with that one.
So we'll have to see Dave come up with something here, whatever he's going to do to stop that. And it seems like, let's see, his 2 archery ranges coming up, so that's not going to be the answer against Mangonels unless we see some really good uphill micro against it. It can be done, but it's going to take his time and his attention.
What's really important to mention is that the water, Lotario is not taking place there anymore. He has no fish, and on the other end, Marauder, for instance, has 10 fishing boats there, so I guess he has an immense food boost there in comparison to Lotario. So while his TC is being pressured, I think the fact that he has those fish boats going on, that's actually a huge advantage here in this fight. If he manages to hold on and find a solution now, it'll be fine. He has 3 archery ranges, therefore he'll have his decent army of crossbowmen very soon. And probably he'll even mix in some knights there. Makes absolutely sense there. Quite strong in order to deal with mangonels. And also any further units, as in some stuff from the archery range coming. So actually I like this decision here. The extra stable. And now he's actually approaching for Lotario. Interesting stuff. Marauder on his way into Lotario's base.
That's great to see. Those crossbowmen, if they get in, they're going to be doing a lot of raiding, a lot of potential damage. They just have to... Oh, the way he's walled, though, they'd have to take some damage to get into that TC to begin with.
Yep.
Could be done, but I think we'll probably... Do we think we'll see Marauder go for knights for now? It seems like he's got 3 crossbowmen queued up, no knights. Just by the way the map is, it might be a little bit easier getting with knights at the moment.
True indeed.
But it is nice. He's delayed Lotario's archer range, or one of them for now, so that's going to delay skirm production, or just plain simply archer production, for a little while now.
Right. At the same time, Lotario doesn't even have fletching. He's just on his way to get it. At the same time, Marauder, Dave, just broke into his base on the south there, destroying that palisade, and now Lotario needs to be really careful not to lose any further villagers there. That would be really hurtful.
He's going to have to completely relocate that wood line, but I think Marauder's going to be able to just walk around if he wants to, and he'd be able to hit either of those wood lines with no pressure to stop him. He'd be able to deny that gold. The TC will keep him away, but I think he'd be able to keep them off that gold here. And then Lotario would be completely off gold, like we talked about earlier. Just in a rough position. Should have put that TC, I'd argue, on that gold to lock it down better.
Right.
They didn't do that.
Exactly.
Marauder trying to get that stone in between him and Lotario, but currently those vills are getting mangonel down, but the mangonel's going back to fight the crossbowmen instead, but that's what we see. Yeah, Marauder sitting on that wood, completely denying that wood line, and making sure they get those villagers off that gold.
Exactly. So there's a lot of stuff taking place in Lotario's base at the moment. Let's take a look at Bulletchen again, because I'm kind of curious how he dealt with that tower rush of GergisKan, who managed to build up towers all around his base there, but not on the left-hand side, which is the place where GergisKan actually started. And that is actually the spot that Bulletchen saw in order to drop his own towers there. Nice stuff now. Pretty amazed. Good move. He was actually able to prevent GergisKan from entering his base any further. Instead, he puts down his own towers there to pressure GergisKan. And for now, it looks like it's kinda okay comparing villager numbers here. It is... I mean, Bulletchen has 38 and GergisKan has 40. So, not that much of a difference here. Both players are taking themselves out for now. So, the main players actually take place on the left-hand side between Marauder and Lotario, I guess.
Well, some things to point out with that comparison there. Bulletchen's about halfway up to castle.
Right.
And GergisKan is not, nor does he have the res to click up yet. And comparing the two teams, we do got to note that Marauder's got 10 fishing ships, Bulletchen has 5, and between Lotario and GergisKan, they're not on water at all
Anymore, right?
That's going to be sticking out that's going to stick out as a good food eco bonus for a while.
For sure. That is true indeed. Yeah, Dave's still doing a lot of work there with his knights as well. I mean, they don't have any upgrades, so they're actually killed really easily. At the same time, though, significant amount of villagers taken down from Lotario by Dave. And comparing villagers, he has 49, Lotario 42 now, decreasing of course because the raid is taking place. Unless those archers get cleared up by this mangonel shot. Won't be happening though, as they are on the hill, therefore they won't just simply die because of one hit. And he actually noticed that one and is now moving away. Good stuff by Dave so far.
Alright, so we see Bulletchen up to castle, and now GergisKan clicking, but Bulletchen's gonna be the first one to get Bogdan, get some extra range on that tower, as we see him dropping a siege workshop. In a situation like this, I think it's the right time to go for a university and go from watchtower to guard tower. There's just so many towers on the map. I think you can make it worthwhile in this scenario.
It's definitely justified then to go for that. You're right. Could be a good choice, just to make sure that nothing is happening anymore. Watchtowers are always, you know, once upgraded into guard towers, always a safe thing to go for. In this case especially. So let's just see what's gonna happen here. If he makes use out of his situation there, having this momentum of being on castle stage earlier. So far we just see that he is going on stone really heavily, Bulletchen. Maybe he has even dropped a castle himself. But he would need to go for a lot there. Currently has 250. So probably not going to take place anytime soon. I guess he's just holding on as much as possible. Also dropping down his with a mangonel there. I like this one. Also this monastery. So we see a little smush there by Bulletchen, who's going for a combo of siege and monks. Like to see that one. Don't think that this is going to be the most efficient way. But I guess once you got your monks in numbers, it should be fine, because then even villagers and other units, especially the ones that are fragile against monks, he should be safe against those ones then. But that is one way to do it. What do you think about this smush type of approach of Bulletchen? Do you think it's a good choice?
I kind of call it questionable at the moment, because do you really want to go monks to convert villagers? I mean, I think it was his quickest thing to go into, as he didn't even have a barracks up. It's really questionable though. I kind of wonder if he just could have went harder with towers. Not sure. It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely powerful, but that one castle is gonna completely shut it down.
Exactly. So I guess I see no more hope for the smash at the moment. Probably not the right decision there. And let's see what's gonna happen here between Dave and Lotario. So more archer range being dropped there on the left hand side. So he will not stop right there with the crossbow production.
Oh wow, we might see look north. We might see a huge raid here of a TC.
Oh, okay.
No, it won't get denied. It went up.
Would have been epic for sure.
I think we'll see 3 villagers picked off here. Those crossbows are gonna get cleaned up. Oh, there's a couple will live, but that's it. Nimino was saying he's not full smushing, just a couple units take out those towers. Okay, yeah, he's gonna clean up his base with that. It's good to see. But then what is the next step here? We've got to see something from Bulletchen now getting horse collar, double bit axe, gold mining, so it's time for eco. Has he dropped more TCs, or is he?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. Okay. GergisKan doing the same. It's almost like they think the same sometimes.
Right, exactly.
Kind of crazy to see.
Also double bit X at the same time. Really late. We are minute 35, but those kind of things that just happen on Nomad especially. I mean, still wondering here. Really late with the double bit X. And now I'm just reading. Oh yeah, it's GG again.
Yeah. Wow. So game number 4 going to Bulletchen+Marauder. Definitely a messy game. Definitely a lot of towers. I wonder, do you think that was early?
Well,
do you think it was over?
There were tendencies, of course. I mean, I guess GergisKan just said, okay, I will not be able to be of any importance in this game anymore, and I have the feeling that my opponents, in this case Bulletchen, will have his own kind of importance very soon. Therefore, I'm out of this game, and therefore it would be 2 versus 1 very, very soon. I guess maybe that was the way he thought. In my opinion, I guess Yeah, I guess it was a good call. I guess no, actually no. I'm taking that back because he has this castle in his base, so I'm not sure. He had a castle
I
in his
think I
base.
see why.
Mm,
Because Dave had just changed his focus and just broken in. If you go a little bit lower than where you're looking right now, where there's
mm,
palisade walls and gold, I think that's why. Once he realized Marauder had the eco to be beating up on both of them and changed his focus, I think maybe
mm.
that's what did it for him.
It could be. It could be for sure. Actually, yeah, there's not much hope anymore. Still, with that castle, he would have been able to hold on a little bit longer, but I guess he just thought that's not worth it. Alright, so I've just updated. It's now 3-1, right?
That is correct.
Wow.
I believe they haven't launched the game yet. So game 5. Do I have this up anymore? Let me check. Oops. I don't at the moment. Do you know what the SIVs will be for game 5?
Yeah, let me see real quick. It would be, in this case, Game 5, hidden free choice of civs. So they can just
nice.
choose. Yeah. So we can maybe see some interesting combinations of two civs, maybe some synergies, maybe also some OP civs being used. I'm still waiting for Burmese, you know. I just want to see them on Nomad as well.
Yeah. We'll pass to the expert. I get asked a lot, but you being the better player, we're gonna pass to you this time. What would you see as your ideal Nomad team?
Well, what can I say to that one? As someone who barely plays Nomad, I guess I would go for some. I would involve Persians for sure, and then I would just go for another civ that is some kind of having a synergy with that. I would go for Persians for sure because of their economical bonus in the beginning, and then if my opponents, my teammate will be someone who is good on water, I would let him choose a civ that is good on water basically. Maybe I would even say Persians and Spanish, because Spanish do have some nice bonuses. At the same time, I see them working together with Persians to a certain degree. Just thinking about all the possible counters that you can find against the Persians and Spanish. Thinking of monk civs there. A lot of possibilities. But I guess I would just go for that. I wouldn't call it perfect, but that would be just my taste, my choice. My choice to answer that question. I guess that would be my type of game.
Okay, well, looks like they're having just as much trouble. While we can tell that they're in lobby, they haven't launched yet, so we can tell that they're not sure either yet what they're thinking.
Yeah. Josh was saying Japanese.
We can pass it on.
Come again?
Oh, I was gonna say we can pass it on chat. See what chat has to say about a good team. But exactly, looks like we got our first answer.
Yeah, Japanese might be a good counter to Persians too, with those helps on steroids. Right. Yeah, high attack speed there. They could just go through those knights. That is for sure. But in combination with Kongs, I would see them shine again, you know. But if it's a 1v1, Japanese Persians, specifically on Nomad Battleground, I mean 1v1 as in it's in a 2v2, but there's a situation where Persians are facing Japanese, that scenario could definitely take place. Cuts both elephants and paladins. True. Yeah, could be. Also Japanese, excellent civ on Nomad, I'd say. Really cheap on the beginning, on the first buildings that you built there. Lumber cams, mining cams, mills, and also water bonus. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Game has finally started, people. So let's just jump into it.
And we see no repeats from the civs. So without talking about teams, what we saw which chosen was Chinese and Mayans versus Persian and Malay. Interesting.
Wow. Okay. Stream has ended.
Oh, we had a problem already. Oh man, facepalm. What happened?
Oh, come on, man.
Well, back to the game room we go.
All right, so that
looks like Dave went out of sync again. That's weird.
Yeah, that happens a couple of games ago, right? Yeah, those kind of things, they just happen. GergisKan saying the snow crashed Marauders game. Well, could be, right?
That's pretty funny. Coming from Canada, definitely.
Right.
Is he everybody's favorite Canadian in the game? I think he might be. I think he can take that title.
Yeah, as favorite especially. I mean, there are a lot of Canadians playing, but I guess the most popular, I'd say so.
Hera cries quietly somewhere once he hears this.
Oh. Poor Hera. Japanese have what is that? FU ARPs, skirms,
heavy cavalry archers,
heavy archers, onagers, heavy scorps against hand cannoneers. All right.
So for the longest time, I didn't know that FU units meant fully upgraded.
Oh,
so I always
you thought about something else.
Yes, it sounded like that's how you were reading it too, so it reminded me of it. So I would always see it in reference to Huskarls. So people would say, "Oh yeah, you just raid with FU Huskarls," and I was like, "Well, that's one way to look at it. I guess if they're if you think they're that annoying to deal with, I didn't know they'd make you that mad though."
Yeah. I guess that would have been my first guess as well.
Ooh, Nimino is saying Slam might be more popular.
Could be, right?
What? Wait, so does an FU Slam beat an FU Dame?
Oh my. 130 Specula is still carrying on there. I hope everything is fine. Just hope for the best here.
Yeah, it seems like Dave's having some consistent problems today, but not too. It seemed like we had him at the beginning, but now the past 2 or 3 games were just fine. So we'll see how this keeps going here.
Right. 50 seconds now, looking good. Alright, so what were the civs again? I just forgot. Were Italians there? Italians, Mayans?
I remember there was a Malay.
Malay, right. That was the most surprising thing, and also the one thing that I'm looking forward to. I hope they will just choose the same civs.
I would think they would.
That would be cool.
Otherwise, it could be considered cheating because
right.
One team saw the other civ, so exactly. Can't make any choices. Yeah,
true.
All right, so we see Chinese and Mayans. That's what it was versus Persians and Malay. I believe we've already saw Chinese and Mayans. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, not too surprising there. I mean, they're considered to be top tier on Nomad, especially. I would have liked to see, I don't know, Chinese and Italians or something like this, but Chinese and Mayans also a good thing to do. Persians and Malay, though, that is certainly interesting. Well, let us just start here. Just gonna look if everything's fine. It is. So yeah, welcome everyone. This is game number 5, right, of a normal background Silver League Finals winner brackets. GergisKan+Lotario against Bulletchen and GergisMarauder. And starting with Bulletchen once again, we got him here on the lower part of the map, kind of central south a bit, with his Chinese there.
Yes.
And looking at his positioning here, he has a lot of options. The deer are close by. He has some sheep that he will be finding very soon, and also boar over there. Gold on the hill. Don't like this position there. Also another gold on the right hand side though. If he does well, he can just protect it there, so it's not that exposed after all. I like it. Kind of okay, kind of position. What is striking though, I won't go over to Dave there. I will just quickly go over to GergisKan. He is really close to Bulletchen there, and yeah, he has the Malay. Interesting stuff indeed. I will elaborate on my thoughts there considering the Malay very soon, but looking at his base, deer are close by. He has stone in the back. Gold also kind of close at the same time. His teammate is also close. Looking at the space and kind of finding a way to evaluate this one. It's okay, but I think that would have been better because he's far away from all the other resources. He has food, but stone and gold quite far away, which makes it always a mess to defend it when you go there with your villagers. So I think I'm more okay with Bulletchen's choice there. But we have to keep in mind that both are really close together. And Willis, what about Marauder and Lotario?
Well, Marauder and Lotario, you think if you thought Bulletchen and GergisKan was closer, Marauder and Lotario are even closer. I will point out something. Looking at the scouting, if you take a look at Marauder's point of view, he knows where GergisKan or where Lotario is. He saw his TC while it was being built. You can't see it now because it changes, but he knows it was there. He scouted it. Right. And Bulletchen, as he was coming back with a villager, also ran into GergisKan's TC while it was being built. So they've got full scouting, know where the other team is. With Marauder, he's on wood and a lot of stones, so I think we can already say now we're probably going to see towers again. It's lending itself immediately to being available. But then we move over ever so slightly to the left and we see Lotario. He's got plenty of wood. He's found some sheep, already taken some sheep. He's going a little bit far away for deer. He could mill that deer and take them if he doesn't. Well, I guess he'd more readily want to get fishing ships out. But I don't think we see a dock for him yet. Unless it's okay, it's way in the north for Lotario. So we'll see more fishing ships from him. He's got gold close by. I will say one thing about Marauder, he doesn't have any, I'll call it readily available gold. He has a gold a little to the south by about 10 tiles or so of his TC, but it's near a hill and it's definitely not, I would say it's neutral. It's going to be easy to push unless maybe he walls away from it. So those walls would be a little bit hard to defend. So we'll see how he tries to handle that. But we're gonna see. He just took out one of Lotario's villagers. Oh man, that was past. Yeah, that was past the 4-minute mark. There's no. There's really not too many rules in this league. Right. But normally don't see stuff like that. Ooh, Dave's dropping a house 1 tile too close to his TC. He's not gonna be able to fit a farm in there. So it's kind of funny to see. But I believe we see. TCs up from all the from each player now. Or not TCs, I mean docks. Of course, you see TC subs from each player. So we're seeing normal play, and last game I was hoping for feudal aggression, but this game, I think it's definitely for sure we're going to see feudal aggression. There's no other way. Exactly. They're so close to each other. They're all way too close together. Yes. If it goes late game, we could see it kind of like, I believe it was game 2, where Lotario and GergisKan were kind of backed into too small of a chunk of the map. We could see a similar thing happen to Marauder and Bulletchen if walls go up. But we'll see.
Yeah, we will see for sure. I like that both teams are close to each other, but at the same time, both have the same opportunities to get control over the whole half of the map that is remaining. So it's not going to be like this one game, where Bulletchen and Marauder basically had 70% of the map for them. So that's one thing to consider. At the same time, I'm really looking forward to see some interesting moves by GergisKan, who has the melee, as he has the possibility to dominate the water for sure. Joshua mentioned that one in the chat as well, which I agree on. At the same time, though, both Lotario and GergisKan haven't been able to impress on the water yet in all of those matches that we've seen. So while they are okay with getting their fishing ships up and involve them in their economy, I feel that Bulletchen and Marauder, especially Bulletchen, is always the one clearing up the water then. It always seems to work out. We don't see really entertaining, super exciting and close fights on water. Instead, it's always Bulletchen actually cleaning up the water. So I just hope that GergisKan this time makes use out of his Civ bonus there. At the same time,
could you point that out? Could you point that out to us noobs? Why is GergisKan going to take the water so easily?
Let's just see about those stats, and not to spread some fake news here. So first of all, I mean those fish traps and whatnot, that's one thing. But at the same time, his dogs first of all has a good line of sight there, which is quite significant in order to work it defensively. And you know, you can just spot a lot on the water that is taking place, and if you just make that as a useful thing for yourself, you know, it'll be hard to beat you. At the same time, also there's this unique tech of them. At the same time, I'm just suffering some performance issues here for a second, kind of slow-mo.
Okay, I can jump in there. The unique tech, Delocracy, upgrading the docks to harbors.
Yeah, always a good thing.
So definitely keep it. Makes docks defend themselves. Do we have any? How should I say this? Are there any civs who have a feudal age advantage on water, specifically just in feudal age?
Specifically just in feudal age, I am not even sure. Just to,
or I should say, starting in feudal age. I mean, line of sight definitely is a big deal, but as far as I think it's evenly matched, except for maybe, well, Vikings don't get fire galleys, so that's the trouble. But
Yeah, that's
other than
unfortunate.
that, I can't think of too much.
Well, let me just.
So we do see Lotario and Marauder putting up houses to keep each other out. So we'll see that for the time being. And they're kind of living in harmony, going after those deer in the south. Almost like it would be like first one to put up a tower, force the other one out of there, kind of thing.
Right, there was actually this one tough situation where I believe, yeah, it was actually Lotario being the one walled up there. He had his, you can see it, the deer, the corpse of that is just at the shore there. He was there gathering the deer, and then he was being walled up by Marauder. Actually, a smart move there, but he managed his way out there. And now he's placing, Lotario is the one placing the barracks there. So he just doesn't want to go for a tower, but instead probably gonna go for some units in order to get rid of those villagers there. Could be one way to do it. I mean, after all, he has the Persians. I'm not sure. Probably. Why does he put those barracks there? That is a good question indeed. What is he gonna go for? He is clicking up the field age. Does he want to go just for scouts? Will he produce knights? We'll see about that. I'm just kinda surprised with this barracks there. We'll see in a second though.
Well, he's got enough wood to drop whatever buildings he wants once he gets feet on. It looks like he's gonna have the resources to get up the castle quickly behind it. We see Marauder walling himself in. I'm a little worried about how small of a position he's given himself. Like, he's really keeping himself in there. So if anything were to happen to his fish boom, I'd say Marauder's out of this game. And as we see it now, we see GergisKan coming in with the first fire galley on Marauder's fish. And if it finds it, I'm extremely concerned about Marauder's position. And I think, just barely, it didn't see any. Wow. Wow, Marauder just got so lucky with that. It was maybe 1 or 2 tiles away from finding him.
Unbelievable, man. For sure. Wow. So, a lot of stuff is taking place, but nothing too spectacular at the moment. But you've mentioned it correctly by saying Marauder's actually having this really turtle-like base over there. So he needs to be really sure of what he's doing at the moment. I mean, he has the Mayans, the stone is there. I see him just putting up a castle very soon and just go for this approach with the plumed archers. Would make sense, of course. He's on his way there. Decent time, 1941. It's okay, I guess. And all the others are catching up as well now. Bulletchen+Lotario also on their way. Only GergisKan is the one staying in field age a little bit longer there, while he is trying to show his presence on water there. And if he manages to stay in the game, GergisKan, he could make use of the stone that he has and place some of those castles, and then maybe put in some karambits. Not only karambits, maybe just go for archers and then attack the enemy and use the karambits. Would be good if he had 2 castles, of course, to maintain a solid production there, and then just raid the enemies in the meantime. That could be one way, but I guess this won't happen anytime soon, as he is dropping a lot of dogs over there. Question is, what is his intention? He will, of course, want to make sure that he has a lot of food there, good income. He could even go for fish traps. As we know, Malay got infinite amount of food for their fish traps, which is not the fastest source of food, but still a really consistent one, as it doesn't require any refreshing. So that is that. And other than that, though, I'm really asking myself for which kind of strats all of those players are going. We now see that Bulletchen+Lotario are going for scale barring armor, so at least we will see some cavalry-based action from both Bulletchen+Lotario.
Okay, I could see, well, with GergisKan going after, if he does go for fish traps, I believe once you get gill nets, I think it's the second fastest, or not second fastest, I think it's faster than regular farms.
Oh really? Okay, cool.
So that could be pretty helpful. I mean, it's kind of, it's a little bit harder to get up, it's a little bit hard to get going, a little bit harder to defend, but it makes it An extremely good food income source. He's made a lot of fire galleys. I think he's just been trying. He definitely wants to dominate water, but he just can't find Marauder. Every time he has a ship near there, he's just getting unlucky and he has no clue. But even with that, Marauder's going to run out of fish up there and still has not transitioned to any farms anywhere.
All right.
It's probably going to hurt him. But did just drop a castle. It is in range of Lotario's TC. That's going to be doing the damage for now. And I don't think Lotario... Yeah, Lotario doesn't have any answer other than run away. He didn't have another castle prepared. That's not going to be doing him any good at the moment.
Wow, that is actually surprising. This castle was enough in order to push him away there. Some mass migration taking place. Really not good. That's a lot of idle time there for many villagers. Not good at all. He needs to place his TC somewhere else. Just forget about this ASAP and get his eco up ASAP. Because he will be able to forget about this first TC. This whole base will be over pretty much very soon as the plumed archers are being produced. And once he has a decent number of them, he will go for the raiding very soon. He needs to be careful now.
So we see Bulletchen coming in with 4 knights. He's looking to hit GergisKan. And I think he's going to be able to pick a couple villagers here. GergisKan's probably going to come in quick walls, keep his gold villagers alive. And Bulletchen's going to be denied from doing too much effective raiding for now. Might even lose a knight the way he's running into the TC. No, but they're going to come away very hurt. They're now blocked in, so they're not going to get anywhere. Those knights might knights are going to leave pretty hurt.
That's for sure.
That was actually a really good move by GergisKan there to block in the knights and make sure they didn't have anywhere effective to run to.
Right. At the same time, though, they cost a lot of idle time for GergisKan's economy, as he was attempting to garrison nearly all of his villages there that he had. So at least that could have been a good thing for Bulletchen. But you're right, actually good move there. And now he's fully walled in. Interesting stuff.
So Marauder has come in from that castle. And he's completely picking off every gold miner Lotario had, and I'm not sure if he sees. Does he not have that? Oh, they don't know that. They don't know that Lotario's on that gold. They must have seen that he walled there. He really needs to go in and hit that gold, and I think Bulletchen just told him to go get it.
Right. He needs to go there.
Maybe not. He's not making. That's a bit of a blunder. That would be a really easy spot to pick off right now. It's a shame they're not going after it.
He's still Xing that, so I guess he wants Mirage to go there really bad.
I think that's actually GergisKan's X's.
Oh, okay.
Because it's flashing blue to red. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell.
But now
Marauder now he's in there. But it's only 1 plumed archer, so I think that's going to give GergisKan the right amount of time to delete a piece of palisade and run away. Oh, unless Marauder's positioning himself to block.
Which he does at the moment.
We're about to see a lot. We're about to see a lot of hurt here.
Oh my! This is really
all those villagers are gonna go down.
Demotivating for sure.
If not all, just about every single one of them. Probably see more plumed archers come in from the castle and continue to pick them off. Yikes!
Yikes indeed.
We actually see score-wise, Marauder and Bulletchen are actually behind. Interesting. Lotario's not hurting that bad score-wise. Oh, because he has 3 TCs up in the north. He's okay with losing this at the moment.
At the same time, they're also dominating the water. GergisKan with 16 fishing ships. It's one way to do it for sure.
I think he finally found Marauder and cleaned him up. No, Marauder has relocated down to here, and Marauder is actually keeping his fishing ships alive. Yeah. With all these fire galleys that GergisKan has, he's just out of position. Oh man.
Wow.
He is already built to take this and win easily, and he's messing it up at the moment. He's got so much time. I think he should even grab the war galley upgrade as he's on his way there.
Right. At the same time,
to completely show up. But he's got 3 fire galleys right there. He just has to clean up with them, and he's not doing it.
I don't know why. Probably because he's really focused now in the middle of his base. There are a couple of knights by Bulletchen. He makes the right choice by putting a battle elephant there as well. I mean, battle elephants of the melee, they are not the best. Not the best by far, because melee are lacking the 2nd armor upgrade and logically the 3rd one as well for cavalry. Therefore, with battle elephants being cheaper, they have a slight momentum when getting them out that you save some food there. But at the same time, you won't be able to cause a lot of damage there in Imp unless you go for Elite Battle Elephants, which is kind of a waste when not used correctly there, especially because they are lacking the defense there. So I find it quite okay for the moment. If he doesn't exaggerate producing a lot of Battle Elephants there. He is having 3 stables though. You should be just careful about this one. For now it's okay, but just don't exaggerate with the Battle Elephants. Just produce as much as you need, or just consider placing a monastery somewhere and get some conversions done, because this situation at the moment asks for conversions quite nicely, I guess, because GergisKan is kind of walled up for now, and he could just place a monk behind those houses and then just land some conversions.
In the north, we see Marauder moving around with these plumed archers. They seem like they've probably taken one mangonel shot because they are very weak. A lot of them are hurt. But he's continuing to take down. Lotario's villagers here, and Lotario has basically an idle mangonel right now that needs to get in there and clean this up. And it looks like we might be about to see a mangonel on mangonel fight here. Lotario should take this out handily as he has the hill. And there goes down. There goes down Marauder's mangonel. Yeah, he misses first.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. He should. Well, those plumed archers are just so fast to run away. But we should be able to see him at least keep them away for now. Alright. GergisKan has finally cleaned up Marauder's fish. No, there's still 3 fishing ships, but he'll be completely taken out the docks. So at least he'll shut it down.
Right.
That TC for Lotario still getting just finally died from the castle, but that took a long time. So while there's pressure on them, they actually look like they're in a pretty okay position for Lotario and GergisKan. It seems like, yeah, there's pressure, but they're doing okay with it. Oh wow, I didn't notice that Bulletchen has converted 2 battle elephants.
Did he finally?
That's not good. Yes.
Right.
A big swing of a huge meat shield there.
That is for sure. So basically not the best idea to go with battle elephants against Chinese, as they have good monks. I would recommend him just to stop producing battle elephants and go for another strat. Go for stone, for instance, would be a good choice in my opinion. Placing down some castles, saving their own base, zoning off maybe a bit of the base of the enemy. And yeah, I'm pretty much not convinced of those stables. If you went for archer ranges instead, went for archers, X-bows, and then combine it with this castle that produce karambits, it would have been nicer to see something like this. But not gonna take place. Instead, Bulletchen, the one placing a castle himself. Now it's gonna be really difficult for GergisKan, as he's about to lose the front of his base.
This thing's also just got a little bit more difficult for Lotario. Marauder has put a castle where, somewhat on one of Lotario's woodlines where he rebuilt TCs, and pushed him a little bit further back.
Right.
Lotario still has plenty of room to work with, but it's a shame. It's always grabbing inches in this game is always good to grab map control.
That's for sure. Map control wise, Marauder does really good. Bulletchen as well, trying to force himself to the front here, taking away the space of GergisKan. I think they're doing well. At the same time though, the score is still interesting. GergisKan has such a lead there. Just want to see his resources there for a second. So both Marauder and Bulletchen are on their way to Imperial Age, which is interesting. Bulletchen also getting Redemption. So what about GergisKan here? He instead goes for pikemen and even more battle elephants. Now this is a mistake in my opinion. You know that the enemy has monks there. You know that those monks just won't go away there. They will stay where they are at the moment, because there's a castle. Of course, they're close to the castle there. If GergisKan attempts to go there with his battle elephants, it will be a really bad thing to do.
What would you like to see him do instead? Maybe just go for light cav, tech into that, use those instead?
First of all, right, I mean, make the best out of the stables that you have at the moment. Go for light cavs. The light cavs unfortunately won't be good neither, because they're missing a lot of text there. But that would be one way to answer to monks, but I guess just forget about those stables and just get up some arch ranges. Go for archers instead and snipe those monks off. And get some castles up as well. I mean, he's going for stone now. He's desperately doing that now. Has a lot of villagers there. Will place a castle very soon. Then he should have just used that combination. Archery ranges, castles, as melee. Good thing to do. Would have ensured some pretty good raiding there, because it's really hard to deal with well upgraded Karambit warriors once they're in your base. They're really tough to defend them, because they're so fast. And so cheap at the same time. But he could instead also go for barracks and just do that tech which makes those long swordsmen, 200 swordsmen a trash unit, in which you don't have to pay gold anymore, and just spam the hell out of those 200 swordsmen. But instead we still see battle elephants being produced. Really not convinced.
Well, we see him putting a castle up now, so maybe he's going after Forced Levy at the moment. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll check for us right now.
Alright.
If Forced Levy... Now, that's an Imperial Age check, so he needs to get to Imperial before he can do that.
Right.
And I don't know if I see that happening. He's got 0 food at the moment. Did he just send it over to Lotario, maybe? We also see Marauder. He's teching into FU Eagle Warriors at the moment.
FU Eagle Warriors even? Really?
Yes, so he's going for the full-on raiding. You can't stop me. I've got too much going on. Good luck defending this.
Really? Where are his barracks at? Let me see.
He has a barracks behind Lotario.
Oh, there we go. You're right. All right. Okay, this is going
and
to.
He's gotten some of the upgrades. He's been working on it for a little while now. Slowly, but he's working on it.
Okay. Okay, look at this situation with the mangonels. Oh my.
Yep. Oof. We see one hit, but they're gonna go down. It's just Ryder just got enough military there that he can just commit and run under and make it happen.
Well,
Even 2 trebs taking down that TC. You know, I think I would have waited though. With 2 trebs, why take the damage? Just take down the TC with the trebs first, then commit. Unless maybe he wants to force the point here. Say, hey, get your villagers out of there. I want to take out 15 villagers. I'm ready to push this game even further and end it. This whole time, Marauder's only on 1 TC though. Has he stalled villager production? Yeah, he's only on 49 vills. That's
over.
Usually a mistake. Oh, there's the GG though.
That's GG. It's over. Wow. Well, all I gotta say, this time it was quite an obvious win here. Even though GergisKan had good economy, that was all actually. I mean, good economy, actually only good food income. Other than that, he had a lot of gold on the bank, but wow, look at this. He has 1,800 gold.
GergisKan does? Oh wow, just has it in the bank. I think he was trying to get himself up to Imp and just couldn't quite get there in time.
Unfortunate stuff, really.
So I always like to point out where we think the players could have done better. I don't think I see many. Sorry, I don't think I see too many mistakes. So I'm not sure what to say to that. I think it was just they just played well.
Of course, they played well. That's one thing to mention. But at the same time, really, this match especially, I saw a couple of decisions that were not good by GergisKan. Since he had those melee, I felt that he didn't quite know what to do there. I mean, until now, I'm pretty much convinced that going for battle elephants was not the best choice. In the beginning, you can use some, as I've mentioned it. They have this momentum, cheap units, right? But at the same time, really fragile. Therefore, you shouldn't just count on them. Just put 3 stables there and just produce a lot of battle elephants. So I think that strategy didn't pay off well because it was easily countered by the Chinese, Bulletchen. He had his monks there, and that didn't pay off too well there for GergisKan. So actually, I think even Bulletchen and Dave basically then outthought the others, their opponents, in this match especially. Also with Marauder against Lotario. Lotario was way too passive in my opinion. Of course, this sounds really harsh, like harsh criticism. It's just easier said than done, of course. They did pretty well in my opinion, of course. They're well skilled. Still, it seemed that Dave knew better in this case. With Mayans, he knew, okay, I need to get stone. Okay, I'm really close to the enemy. That's just perfect. I need to get the stone. I'll just place it in a position where it's going to be really awkward for my opponent. if he decides to play passively, which happened, Lotario didn't do anything against this. He was aware of the fact in the end that his opponent's Marauder was close to him. He didn't do too much about it. Maybe he was just being baited there because all the other matches that took place, it was kind of a same situation in which nothing happened in the beginning. So this time it was different. The castle was being dropped by Marauder, and then he was pushed back. He had to place his TC somewhere else, and even then Marauder caught up with this huge army of plumed archers. And in the end, even with some siege, talking about the trebuchets and also eagle warriors, but especially the plumed archers did a really good job there, which pushed away Lotario until it was GG for him as well.
That's very well said. If I could point out any spot, I think it was that Marauders' fishing ships went untouched when they didn't have to be. They just kept being just lucky enough to not be seen. Right. And at the time they would have went down, Marauder had 0 farms up, and he didn't put any farms up until probably about 5-10 minutes after that first time where they got missed. So I think that could have been a point that altered not necessarily the outcome, but the way that game was going. We definitely would have had to change how he was playing, and maybe could have made a difference. But other than that, I don't see too many turning points, I'll say.
Right, turning points.
Possible turning points.
Right, it was kind of over, because also, I just see it, GergisKan also went on fire ships, obviously, fire galleys. And I guess there was maybe a bit of over-investment, because it wasn't like Bulletchen+Marauder tried to fight this one off. Maybe they just felt comfortable enough with the lead that they had, considering their economy, that they could just kind of lose it and give it away for now, if they managed to just finish them off as soon as possible. And which happens, they didn't allow this one to get too much of an late game. 41 minutes in and it's over. So I think maybe also going for too many fire galleys, maybe not the best investment. At the same time though, GergisKan had so much gold on the bank still left, so I guess he could have just made use out of all of his resources somehow in a way that he actually profited from it. Like I said, going into archers, going into karambits, there are possibilities, but not battle offense, unfortunately. But that is all I gotta say for this match. But also happy that we saw so many games. In the end, it was quite obvious though. Still, I gotta say I enjoyed seeing all of those matches.
Yeah, it's definitely good to see. Looking forward to the grand finals. I can't remember the 4th player, but now we're going to see Bulletchen and GergisMarauder against NBL. And I'm sorry, but I'm forgetting that 4th player at the moment. So I'll be looking forward to seeing those matches, and hopefully this same team co-casting them here on Woobly Official.
Well, I hope so as well, indeed. And for all the people still watching, just as a last advertisement here for our sake here, tomorrow we will also have Weekend Smackdown, really early this time. I believe it was 10 GMT.
That's correct.
12?
Yep,
yeah, 10
GMT. 10 GMT. It was originally 12 GMT, but we moved to 10 GMT.
10 GMT, 10 a.m. GMT, exactly. This is how it is, which is basically a casual kind of tournament in which all of you can participate if you meet the requirements, which is basically being above 1600 and under 1900 as far as I can recall. And if you meet those requirements, you can just join. It's casual for a reason. It is there, first of all, to show some intermediate players in tournaments, and also it is not the most important event going on, as in, wow, there's $1 million prize pool or something like this. It's more an opportunity for you to get into this tournament vibe, how it feels to play actually for something, because in the end you can still win Woobly Premium Gold and Silver as far as I remember, and also a good chance for you to get some training and gather some experience. You can improve your skills, at the same time get into this tournament vibe, because I can assure you being in the tournament is different than just playing random games with good players, because with this tournament vibe it's also a bit more pressured, and you can just try that one out. Willis will be casting this one, and I will just join him. We will have a lot of fun, I'm very sure of this. It's going to be a one-day tournament, and it's going to be a 1v1 Arabia.
Yes, I believe we look for 8 or 16, depending on how many people show up, and we go from there. Start with knockouts, and I believe the best ofs increase as time goes on. I think if it's 8, we'll be doing. I think it goes best of 1, best of 3s, best of 5.
Could be, yeah.
It's meant to be all inclusive as we move on through the day, and then also adjust to however many players there are. Chris, we cast as much as Nomad Battlegrounds as we can. I will say our priorities are get that one covered, Weekend SmackDown, and also Legacy of the Huns. I believe I can say is Vubi Official's current priorities as far as what we're casting.
Right, but
I don't think. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just adding. If we have the time, if the slots are available, and if we also have the time, considering our own schedule, private schedule, we will do this for sure. Just for your information, so tomorrow we got this Weekend SmackDown, and in the evening, I believe it was 20 GMT, we got Legacy of the Huns. If Nomad Battlegrounds should be in between there tomorrow, there could be the chance that one of us might take over that one. Why not? We'll see about that. We'll just see according our schedules there. We'll try our best, of course. We'll try to show as much as we can on Vubi, that's for sure. Exactly. So I think that is it from me. Willis, would you like to add something?
No, I think I'm good, except we're missing the point to remind people they can check us out at other times, as well as on your channel, twitch.tv/demisred, or myself, twitch.tv/willis_35. Part of the Vubi official team, but we do stream on our own channels as well. I think we've hit all the bullet points of what we need to do today.
Yeah, I think so too.
Except send the host somewhere.
Oh yeah, you can do this, of course, if you like.
Okay, I think I'm going through the list here. I think, as far as I know, I think we're going to pick Spring this time.
All right, let's do it. No problem. I mean, he had a good match day. He won it against Chart really bravely there. So.
Oh, that's right. Were you casting?
Yeah, I was
earlier
casting
today.
It was a wonderful match.
I forgot about that. Okay, really that's great then. That works out very well. Yeah. I always like to try to pick someone that I believe we've casted some of theirs today, but I personally didn't, so I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure looking through my list of who's on right now.
All good, all good. Yeah, Spring would be an excellent choice. He deserves it for sure.
All right, well then I'll say my goodbyes and let you go. Bye, stream.
Bye,
stream. You'll see us in less than 12 hours, about yes, 10 hours. So I've got some work ahead of me tonight to get that ready. Whew.
Wow.
Starts to sweat. So yes, that'll be our first VO tournament since we put the team back together here. And hope it goes very, very well. And see you in the morning. Demisred, I'll let you say your goodbye and I'll send the host.
All right then. So it was nice having you here, guys. Bye-bye, Nevaras, Haraiman. Also, bye-bye, Apollo, Chris. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Let me know when you officially end stream, please.